And you gonna get off his corners? You gonna leave his people be? Or you the one that's gonna find yourself a new plug?
You don't mean that shit?
The fuck I don't. I built this shit. Me. Brick by brick. And I'll be damned if I let you tear it down just cause you don't like the way another nigga talk. Drive, motherfucker!
Celebrate, put a glass up. A night that I can celebrate, put a glass up. A night that I can never pass up. All my niggas and homies getting the cash up. Straight to the bank, I'm about to laugh up. Call some hoes to twerk and throw that ass up. And get one that I can smash up. Try to vision of one that I can mac up. Keep the jimmies in case I gotta strap up. I gotta wrap up, no bad luck. I'm just here to turn up, not looking for the bad luck. I'm celebrating it all cause of my backup. Proving it all will work, I never had luck. From ink and pad up to now, up and down. That's how it's been since the beginning, again and again. So I intend to win with every second and ending. I never pretend, I look on my pen, get it. Check this shit cause we nice. With it, made for this shit, we right. With it, pray for this shit for the light. In it, with no ifs, fans, or might. Get it, stay tight with it, keep the mic with it, giving everybody a
Hey, what's happening, y'all? Welcome to another episode of the PDXDOPE Black Podcast. We're back with another one, and I'm your host, Ray Nelson Jr. Happy Friday. Today is December 9th, 2022. Getting closer to the end of the year. I hope everybody's having a fantastic Friday. I know I am. Been off a few days. Got my kid in town, but we got a big show today. We got a big guest panel today. A lot of my buddies is on here. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about Deion Sanders leaving Jackson State and how you feel about that. So we got a lot of opinions on that. So it'll be an interesting conversation. Got a couple other stories. We'll talk about crazy Kanye. He's back in the news once again, of course. And as we will do, we will cover him. Kanye, you're killing me, bro. We're going to talk about this one weird-ass story where there's a 10-year-old kid who killed his mom because he couldn't order something on Amazon. What the fuck's going on with these kids today? I think I just broke my rule. I can't cuss in the first couple of minutes. Well, anyway, we've already blown that. But anyway, let me go ahead and get my panel introduced here for you all. And first up on the step, we got my man, Mr. Scooty. Ivory Majors in the building. What's up, brother?
Hey, what's up, man?
Man, not too much.
Friday.
You said what?
I said happy Friday.
Oh, payday?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's what's up. It's always good to get some money. We're going to go ahead and get everybody introduced since we got like 11 motherfuckers today.
Yeah.
So we got a strong one today. It's going to be good. Next up, I got my other buddy in the building. Old folks, Marcus over in the building. What's up with you, brother?
Hey, man, I'm glad you finally got me back on this bitch. It's been about 6 months.
Yeah, I know, right?
But hey, I know, but what's up? I'm glad to be back.
Well, like
Let's
I told
do
you, yeah, like I told you, it was the God was working. Ivory told me to get you on here, and you hit me before I could get you know what I'm saying? Before I could even ask you to come on. So you
that
know
is that is right there.
All right, you got you. Both of y'all is from the same frat, right? So that's going to even
Yes,
make
sir.
it more interesting. There we go. There it is.
There go the light. There go the light.
Okay, there these niggas go throwing up gang signs. Okay, bro. Next up on the set, we got my man, the meme king, Mr. Renaud Cage. What's up with you, brother?
Hey everybody, happy Friday. It looks like we got the OSU panel on the list.
Yeah.
I'm just happy to be here. Mark, Ivory, Couch Man,
Mm-hmm.
and yourself.
Yeah, of course.
And whoever else. Yeah.
All
I'm just happy to be here.
All right, next up, I got my my other co-defendant. He's been with me on this journey of talk shows for radio, all the bullshit, for even the rap music. This is my partner, my player partner, Mr. Elijah Jackson in the building. What's up with you, baby?
What's going on with y'all, man?
Man, we here. This is real interesting, man. We got some good people on today, man. It's gonna be a lot of shit talking today. So if you are sensitive, this might not be the show for you, ladies and gentlemen. Moving right along, we're gonna go ahead and get the rest of these people on this on deck. We got my Cuddy, Terrence Alexander Nelson in the building.
What up? Nothing much. Here, we doing it. I'm here. Let's have fun.
We're gonna do it. All right.
So hi, Tanya. I'm pretty sure you're watching. She's an avid watcher, so.
Okay, so we'll get to them in a second. All right, so we got my man, Mr. Andre Jameson, in the fucking building. What's up with you, man? We got comics and rappers and all kinds of motherfuckers today.
Anytime I can make time to get on this hot show, it's always gonna be good. Can't wait to put it on blast, man.
There you go. We're gonna talk about Dion, but last but not least, I've been doing this podcast for over a fucking year, and I've never been able to get this guy on my show. He's just so famous and doing all these things in music now. But we appreciate having him on. This would be my son, Jamari Nasir Nelson, is in the building. What's up with you, kid?
What's up? What's popping?
Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining.
Oh, of course.
You make it right make time. Yeah. Make time out of your busy schedule. I had to fly a nigga out here just to get him on the show. Ain't that Jeez Louise. All right, so we got people in our comment section. We got to say what's up to Pam. What's happening with you? Ebony is in the building. And what's up, Glenda? Yeah, we got a couple of stories, man, and it's a number of us. So I only put like 3 stories on there. If you guys got something you guys want to talk about, I'm sure you guys will have something. We can get into it, but I think I want to go ahead and get right into it and talk about Prime. Coach Prime. He is the motherfucking man, and he's my guy, but a lot of people are a little bit, taken aback by his move. So we're going to talk about that. Where is my Oh, hold on, y'all. I got to do something real quick.
Dre, turn on your light in your car.
Strike one.
Right, hold on. I'll be right back. Hold on. I got to do something real quick.
Dre, is that a fine to drive with the light in your car, or are you gonna? What's going on?
He wanted all the juice.
He's trying to be tapped and drive with one hand. Bro, we know you drive with 2 hands, bro. Stop trying.
Listen. The nigga got a Tesla. He don't need to drive with no hands.
Hey, Dre. You being on live, bro, ain't that gonna drain your battery down on your car?
The nigga got like 18 batteries.
Yeah.
He can run his car batteries out. That nigga hiding out in the car. He can't do the show. He can't do the show at the house, man. He got to be outside. The kids.
That nigga wife will whoop his ass.
What happened? He just dropped off.
Y'all ran him off.
Nah, he'll be back.
His wife.
That was his wife that came in and cut him off.
Nah, his wife had his car cut off.
Right.
Oh.
She probably got a remote switch. Cut that shit off.
Oh no, that's awful. Hold on, let me turn this down real quick. So I'm gonna play the video. He'll probably join back in here shortly. But he can't do it right now. I'm sure his lady got him tied up. So Dre, we'll see you in.
He getting material together to come back on.
Oh, okay.
The nigga was just in his car. The nigga got a full satellite in his car.
Sure. Elon Musk.
You've made a tremendous impact at the HBCUs. I guess, how difficult was the decision to leave what you started there?
Tremendous. Because it wasn't about the X's and O's or the wins and losses. It was about those kids. It was about looking at the faces of those kids, knowing that I'm being ready. God is getting ready to elevate me. God is getting ready to elevate me. Usually a coach is terminated or elevated. Thank God I'm elevated. But still, the journey is not complete. some of the things that we accomplished there about bringing understanding and notoriety to certain falsities or non-committal things that are done at Power Fives, maybe God is using me to be the catalyst, to make you think and to make you just fathom another way, to make us feel unthreatened when someone of the other ethnicity is approaching, to just make us feel good about today. Maybe God is really using me to open doors at this level. The thing that alarms me the most is just because I'm leaving Jackson, they think that I'm leaving African Americans. I don't know if you noticed or not, but I'm black. I can never leave who I am and what I am and how I go about being that. So it is still my task to look in that locker room and see 65 to 70% of African American men trying to help them get to the next level, as well as all the others. My calling is for young men, young women, and people of all walks of life, all social climates, and all ethnicities. That's my calling. My calling is not built on a location. It's built on a destination. Now that was good. You're supposed to clap for that. Darn it, that was good. You give me some of my good stuff. We just getting started. I already went in the bag, baby. Let's go.
I'm coming. He said I'm coming.
Silk tongue.
All right. So, as we all know, he's moved on to Colorado, to the Buffaloes, to the Pac-12, right? So we're gonna go ahead and get this thing kicked off. Mark, I want you to go ahead and give us your thoughts on Prime leaving. Do you think that Prime leaving is problematic? You can go anywhere with this.
Okay, I'm glad you started with me, because here's where we're gonna start with it. I'm reading this book, or studying this book, Jewish Phenomena, and this book, Powernomics, right? Damn. Oh, there we go. Powernomics. Yeah. Okay. Powernomics is where Ice Cube got a lot of the information to build the plan for the black community that he was pitching to Biden and Trump, whoever won the presidency, and Trump.
Yeah.
Now, Jewish Phenomena is a book that basically outlines how the Jews took over Hollywood and different business and industries in predominantly America. Now, if I go to Powernomics, one of the pillars is 3 pillars that Dr. Claude Anderson, who wrote Powernomics, illustrates, which is church, education, and community. Coach Prime serendipitously started the education piece by uplifting the black colleges with football.
Okay.
Like I don't think he tried to do it on purpose, but he kind of fell into that position. So that's where, if you saw any of the posts or you saw my live when he left, that's where I was coming from, because I'm studying these books.
Mm-hmm.
And no matter what he does at Colorado at this point, whether he wins the national title, whether his son wins the Heisman Trophy, whatever, none of that is going to have the same impact as if he had done that same thing at Jackson State. And the reason I outline these books is because the Jews that we know of right now had the same issues that we have as a black community.
Right.
But the difference between the Jews and the black community is the Jews as a community figured out that we need to impact our kids and build industry first in becoming doctors, lawyers, and accountants. Anything outside of that, we're not touching. Black people, the black community, because of what we've experienced in slavery, outside of slavery and Jim Crow, we have been divided, and we still are divided.
Right.
Because if we had the same mindset as the Jews, Deion Sanders would never have left to Colorado. He would have saw the bigger picture, and he would have delayed gratification. He would have saw that, okay, that $5 million today at Colorado is not as strong as the $500 million that the black colleges would have accomplished in 5 to 10 years. And as a black community, we are not in the mindset to delay gratification. We want it now.
Right. Okay.
We want. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you go ahead. So Ivory, we talked about this a little bit. What are your thoughts on the move?
He did what he was supposed to do. You know, it's time for him to move. I mean, it's not like he set a standard, right? He planted the seed, it grew. Now it's time for him to go do what he needs to do elsewhere. And bottom line, I mean, shit, the SWAC is fucking broke. I mean, from the shit that I seen, you know, he need to go get his money.
And I also heard some things about the funding and stuff like that, where he was kind of getting shorted on us. To kind of think what I was reading about. So I don't know too much about that. I just know that, you know, they hopped on him pretty quick when he made the decision to leave. But I did read a couple of things like that. So if anybody could elaborate, but I'm gonna go around the board real quick and then we'll come back. We can stay on this.
You said me?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So what you talk about, Mark, what he's using is structure and organization. That's what all societies use to move forward. The one thing that allows is order, and in that thing you can't have disorder. And what he was not getting funding and far as the backing, he's a mercenary. His first thing, even though he's trying to do these things to enlighten people and bring their life to a better standing, he went in to do a job. And there are people who get on board, but they only want to be on board to be seen as one of these people who are going in the right direction. But they weren't willing to do the dirt or do the hard work to help push his vision forward. He got to a point where he couldn't do that. If you think about some of the things they talk about with the water situation, you know, funding, being able to pay his coaches, being able to build facilities, things like that, it wasn't there. Now, him leaving doesn't stop that from happening. For as that, so they'll get the same thing over there. Now, far as black colleges, they'll have to catch up. It's just like when and I'll say it's on a different level, but when Saban went down and started building shit down there in Alabama. When he started building that stuff there, everyone in that conference started building something. They said, "Oh, we got to do this to keep up. We got to do this because it's going to make us money in the long run down the line." That's what's probably going to happen and should have happened with the whole conference. Go ahead.
Okay, so with Mark, what you were saying, so you say in 5 years, 500 million. So what Terrence was just saying is do you think that the other schools was following his lead in terms of trying to compete? You know what I mean? Like, because, you know, Neon's just one guy, right? And so you would need to have other coaches to kind of follow in line with his thought process or the way he does things. Not all the way, but some of the stuff. And it seemed like he got a little hate. What are your thoughts on that?
So before I even, because there's another part of this, I want to let everybody else have a say before I go into. There's a whole nother side of this.
All right. So Elijah.
I mean, at the end of the day, I can't be mad at him for doing what he want to do for him. I mean, he can do what he wants to do, but I mean, on the flip side, you know, I'm a contrarian. I mean, I can understand. I mean, I don't understand the way they're throwing shots and throwing hate at him, but I can understand some of their frustration because I mean, yeah, that's just like right now. Phil Jackson can leave me the blueprint to run a team. I'm not fucking Phil Jackson.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So that blueprint shit goes out the window. I mean, you have his cachet, you have all these things that are bringing attention to the college, and when he had it, he was preaching, I am swag, I am this. Black kids should come to these colleges. But then when you dip, all that diminishes them. All these other coaches that should follow his lead, again, aren't him. So the spotlight, they go from, and then he's taking a lot of his top recruits with him. So they go from a top winning college, they're going to go back to a shit team next year. And they understand that. So, I mean, that's where a lot of their frustrations coming from.
Yeah. All right. So, Jamar, you got any thoughts on this? What do you think, young man?
Honestly, I'm not too educated on this topic. I'm gonna be real.
So you stay or go. You don't care.
Nah, man. Yeah, I just really didn't keep up with it. Like, I just seen the headline and I just really didn't dig too deep into it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like, I just with certain comments that I've seen it seemed like some people are a bit overboard with it though. You know what I'm saying? I think we can pull back, but like Jack said, he understands some of the frustration, but I can't speak too much. But just off of certain comments, I think some people are going a bit too much, going too hard about it.
Right. Renaud, what about you?
Well, as you well aware, I'm not a sports guy, but you guys sent me that parody of Dion. So
I think that's what Elijah got that from Elijah.
Okay, so and like Elijah said, I'm not mad at him. Again, I don't know too much because I'm not a big. Anyway, you know what? He got to go where the money at. Well, from what I saw, from what I read, from the comments, you know what? He loved, like you said, I'm still black. Shit ain't changed. I might like myself. Y'all call me a shit color nigga or a sand, because I'm. But anyway, that has nothing to do with left or right.
Get back on task. Come on.
Shut up.
Thank you. All right, next up, Andre. Why don't you give us your opinions on this one? Because I think I'm gonna
take you off of mute.
Yeah, I'm gonna help Renaud out real quick. So I want you to go ahead and So do you think Prime was out of pocket? Do you think what he did was, would you make the same move? Or do you think that he could have done even more had he stayed at Jackson?
Well, of course he could have did more. First of all, let's get some things straight. Everything's talking about, Dion left, Jackson State, this and that. Hold on. First of all, when he left, everybody was in a better place. That the university got money. People got raises, things got built. It was a better community. It was more on the map for people to see outside our culture. Okay. And kids went there and they continued to get an education and they got better and they ended on a winning program when he left. So everything was all in the pluses. So Dion has every right now to leave and say, hey, I left y'all in a better place. Now, what you gonna do with it? Okay, it's as simple as that. And now he went from rags to riches. Hell yeah, it was rags. Remember, they didn't have no water. He was putting his own hands dirty trying to get these kids water and food during the storm and making phone calls to make donations happen. I mean, hey, Prime put his money where his mouth is, and now what you should be asking the next big question is who's gonna fill those shoes when he leaves? Because he did a hell of a lot, brother. That's what. So now, where he deserved everything he's getting.
Yep.
Period.
Okay. Mark, what do you have to say to that?
Go ahead, Mark.
Me?
Yeah. He over there floating.
No. I didn't. So listen. Here's the thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I've had many conversations because some of y'all know, I went live about the shit because it affected me. Right?
You was going off. He was going
off. But here's the thing, are you guys familiar with Roland Martin? Any of y'all familiar with Roland Martin?
Yeah,
I know you are.
Pudgy motherfucker. Yeah, I know him.
No. Don't call that pudgy motherfucker because he helped bring me to Jesus. Because the thing is, what you got to ask yourself, and I had a 2-hour conversation yesterday that actually even cleared it even more so. And it's this. how many? Well, let me say it this way: did y'all niggas know that JSU has some of the most successful, deep-pocketed black people in the country?
Well, I know one of my good friends who I graduated from high school with. She graduated from there, and she's doing extremely well.
Okay, ask your friend how much she's gave back to JSU.
Yeah.
Was it anything?
No. Okay. So Mark, so what you're talking about? Yeah. No, I seen Roland when he broke
So
that. shit down.
hold up.
Stingy.
And so part of the other conversation that I was thrown at, that thrown at me because of my emotional reaction to it was, Mark, do you not know that most HBCUs actually give more to the band program, to the fucking football program? So you will go to Grambling and see that they got better facilities for band than the football program. So wait a minute.
Winning, playing around the world.
And they got more
Oh,
numbers.
wait a
in the
minute.
band
Oh,
than
whoa,
the
whoa, 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 whoa. I don't want to hear none of that shit.
I'm just telling the truth. That's how they look at it.
I know, but listen to me. If we look across the fence at what just took Dion over to the white side, what brings in the money? Football and basketball. So you niggas, why you think that they won't come to your school? Look at your gym. Look at the football locker room.
Hey,
you giving all that money to the band?
You are correct.
Okay,
You
so Mark, since you so this is the other thing you gotta also look at, right? So look at Oprah. Now I can only comment on what I see.
I was getting there, but go ahead. But go ahead.
So what I'm saying is, what she's doing is awesome. So you're gonna go build a school in Africa. You see what I'm saying? But donate to the HBCUs, like you say, all the people that are what I call successful, right? A lot of the entertainers, because that's what I see. You see what I'm saying? Donating and this and that. That shit don't happen.
Wait a minute.
Now, hold on.
The question is, are they donating?
I don't think so. Hold on.
No.
Hold on, time out. You asked me a question. Did you see the video at JSU's track? I mean, nigga, you seen the concrete. You see what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's that type
that's
shit.
My point.
Okay? It's that type shit.
Hey, but this happens at regular universities too with alumni.
No, it don't.
So I'm just saying.
No.
Yes,
No,
not everybody who has money puts their money back into their successor.
Okay, Terrence, check this out. Colorado State compared to Colorado Buffaloes. Look at their facilities. The Colorado State got better facilities than Grambling.
And that's a state-sponsored school. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay. Let's go back to hold on. Let's go back to JSU. They got the most money they got the most successful alumni, but yet for some reason in our black minds we think, oh, give that money to the band team. When we see on the white side, it's the black athletes that play football and basketball.
Mark, in case you forgot, hey man, the black people don't come to the fucking game to see them niggas run back and forth across the field. They there for the band.
No, whoa. Oh, hold up. You got me fucked up. I come from Houston, Texas.
Nigga, I
come from Houston. No. I come from Houston, Texas, and I'm gonna tell you this. Growing up in Houston, Texas, your football team. Okay, all y'all niggas heard of Jack Yates, haven't you?
I've heard of him.
Okay, Jack. So Jack Yates is the Benson High School of Houston. Y'all know Benson, right?
Yeah, of course.
Well, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Right. So check this out. Jack Yates had a good football team, and oh, by the way, they got a great band. The football team is what made people put their ass in the seats, and the cream on the crop or the little extra was the fact that the band was tight.
Okay, so
we got the game fucked up. We got to invest in sports. That's what gets people in the stands. Dion just showed you.
Hey,
okay.
Listen.
okay, yeah, okay.
No,
What do you got to say,
Andre, you remember Mr. Jackson sent me to Jackson State. Remember me, Z-Nab, and he said I had a fling with that, but that's another story. But this, like you said, they had like Mark said, they had more money invested in the cafeteria and the band. The band was a show. I mean, I went to the game, but when I went and seen the halftime in the band and I went to the parade, it was just out of this world. It was nothing like, I don't even like parades. And I would go to something like that down south.
So listen,
but
my experience is like that too, though. Like you said, you can see the concrete because I went to Grambling. I was going to go to Oregon State first, but I was on that whole HBCU thing when I was in high school, and I wanted to play football. So I was going to try to walk on in Grambling or whatever the thing was. Not recruited, none of that. When I got there, and football field was cool and all that kind of football facilities was kind of decent down there, but it wasn't it wasn't no top-notch shit. From going to U of O to Oregon State to watch all these Pac-10 schools I've been to, and then go out here and look at this shit, I was like, man, I'm going home. It was like straight, like it was terrible. It was fucking terrible. Shut up. No, we're not moving to the next topic. You turn the radio off. We're talking about
but the thing is who's lobbying for both sports or for the other thing? That's the other thing. And people who can get the ear of certain people, because they're usually, this is something consistent. They figure that they're going to be consistent with the band. So they're putting that money in, but it's also about who's lobbying. How many people are lobbying? Who has power? Who's in the power structure and allows that money to go one way or the other? You're right about the sports need to be done, but I think because he came down and kind of showed some of the stuff that needed to be done, and he was being hated on throughout because he was doing what he was doing, and they're like, he's not true this and that. Which what the fuck does that mean when he has credentials that show that he wins at every level?
Terrence, let me ask you something. Do you think he was showing them up?
No, he wasn't showing them up. He was showing them this is what we need to do to be able to be able to survive and thrive, actually. And that's the whole thing. People get mad because you got folks, the tradition, who's supposed to be the school that's running shit all the time, and they get mad and they're doing the rest of this thing. But hey, so I think Jackson State learns from this though, because you're at this level and you lost what you have, and you lost. Listen, I'm just saying, for the next 2 years.
No. I'm shaking my head.
Putting money into the program.
I agree with you. The whole thing is,
all I say is this:
what he can do.
If it falls apart after a year or two after he's gone,
he'll never go back up. Yeah.
What can you say?
Hey, so check this out. Could you imagine Deion Sanders being in one of those meetings, right? And the band director has been getting all of this money all of this time. He's starting to hate on Deion because why? That's for the effect of money.
Taking the prize, taking the vision off of the band and putting it onto the football team, and that's exactly. Right. But he's also getting cut up by the other football schools too.
Right. And see, when people start having those conversations with me, saying, Mark, just think about that. That's when I'm like, okay, I do get that shit, because look, how the fuck can you have the most successful alumni, Jackson State, but yet their football facilities, because it goes back to what I started off with as far as with the community and culture of a black community. We so concerned, like the average nigga right now with a degree, with a PhD, would rather go buy a house in Lake Oswego than build in Northeast Portland or wherever the niggas is at now. The average nigga or female, a nigga would rather go buy Balenciaga than take that money and donate it to Jackson State or Grambling. That's our mindset. And we'll look at Deion and say, well, okay, he doing it. Well, he can do it, but not me. Really?
Hey.
Really?
Coaches are mercenaries.
Hold on, real quick though. Jax was saying something
they
real
ran
quick.
out of
What was you
money.
saying,
Just
Jax?
blame it on Brett Favre. Just say
No, I mean, everybody got points. I mean, at the end of the day, the people that got all this outrage though is the same motherfuckers that's not doing the donating themselves. So they need to shut the fuck up from that aspect. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, as far as the whole thing of people being frustrated about him leaving, like I said, he can do what he wants to do. First, he don't owe them shit. So I mean, but what I am saying is, as far as I can understand where they felt a lot of their hope has left, because I mean, yeah, he gave them the blueprint, showed what needs to be done, brought a lot of money in, but all that shit leaves with him. Michael Strahan is not going to be donating these niggas suits and ties here on out when he's gone. You see what I'm saying? The Walmart plug, all that shit was good because he was there. You see what I'm saying? And so when nigga Flash left man, so we're here to see now.
Yeah, but see, that's where we gotta like real all that shit in, because that's my point. And that, man, we like one day that shit gotta change. Why do we have to keep selling out to the white people? Why I gotta go and make my bones with the white man instead of making something here with my black people? Why does Ivory gotta be mad at me because I'm the one that's bringing in the attention? And instead of us banding together and building something, we gotta hate on each other. Like, for example, Junior, Eddie Robinson Jr. That never should have been on. Even though he had beef with Dion, man, we shouldn't have never seen that shit.
You're correct.
When do we as a community like say, fuck it? You know, somebody got to do it, and I'm gonna take that responsibility, even though I know I might get my head cut off. We're fucking cowards. We're the motherfucking cowards of motherfucking the U.S. Hold up. Hold up. I drive around the Bay Area a lot, man, and I see there's different communities of people, and every community has a structure but black people. Go ahead.
Yeah, and so basically what I'm telling you is, if you think about the years of, a lot of people are indoctrinated.
Yeah.
There is no hope for the hood. We don't even reinvest in. I mean, we can start there. You know, who owns the stores, the bodegas, the things like that in these neighborhoods.
There we go.
Like that.
There we go.
So
hey, I promise you, Jackie Slater ain't gonna go back there and coach. I know that.
Can I say something?
But it goes back down to the same thing. We're talking about structure and organization, and those who are working in the background to keep the structure the same way and the organization the same way it is are the ones who are putting this stuff out and keeping it from growing on purpose. And that's the reason we talk about black community and stuff like community not growing, because it's always when we're looking at the structure, we're not willing to incorporate certain things because it's too flamboyant for us. Sometimes too flamboyant, or it's too risque in certain areas. So they don't want to go with that because it goes to the other side of the culture, where we're thinking that you have to be this or you have to be that to be successful. I think they're not giving room for somebody like Deion Sanders and the way that he shows. You know, he shows up, shows out. You know, and they're looking at their structure and they're more conservative in everything they're doing, but they're willing to have that. Listen, they're willing to put their money on the bands, which they're not so conservative. Put the money in the bands because that's what they're okay with having things that are not so conservative. That's all I'm saying.
So let's take Ray's podcast, for example. He wants to build his brand and everything and get us all involved in it. But us motherfucking black folks don't want to, for whatever reasons, you know, do whatever it takes to help everybody. And so we can all, flourish. Ray's a good example. You know what? He might have to go elsewhere to get his, you know what I'm saying? To get his feed going. You feel me?
His growth.
So like Dion, he, you know, he's doing like, hey, I gave you guys the like Dre said, like Jack said, I gave you guys the blueprint. Have with it what you will. If you don't want to follow suit, you know what? I'm over here.
Yeah, he fostered an
Andre, what were you saying now? Go ahead.
I want to tie something that Terrence and Mark was saying about, the structure. All right? Not just the at the college, but we're talking about in our community structure, right? And there's also hidden structure. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you something about hidden structure. So, for example, in Irvine, California, where I'm at, there's free tutoring from grade school through high school 24/7, 7 days a week, all the way through high school, any time of the day and time of night. You just get online, go to this portal, they'll help you. That's hidden structure. That's called real children not left behind. Now, what other community is going to give that to you? And I don't have to tell you what kind of culture is in this community.
I was going to ask you, what's the cost of living in that community?
I don't have to say it. You already know it. That's the hidden structure I'm telling you about, where people don't know that there's no structure and there's structure and there's hidden structure. And a lot of hidden structure is where the money is. Okay. And so you tell me, in your area, do you have the opportunity says that your child can come home and says, oh, my mama don't know how to do this math, that math. My daddy don't know how to do this math. I don't got nobody older to help me with this reading. I can go online at 2:00 in the morning on a Friday, Saturday night and get help in 2 minutes. And now I can pass my test. You tell me where you can get that opportunity from.
You know why we can't get
We
it
don't
here?
know about that, Dre.
Well, it might be but it might not be readily
It's free and it's
told.
free.
I know, but it might not be pushed where people know it unless you're in the know about it. It's online. It could be anywhere.
All jokes
So
aside.
let me. Can I talk?
Hold on, wait a second. So, kind of joking and kind of serious at the same time. That you can't be a mentor to a kid, because some of these women, right? They don't want you to be hard on their kid and what have you. You see what I'm saying?
Or direct.
Exactly. So it's a lot of that shit, man. The kids are soft.
Or have the past of Andre Jameson. You just can't teach people.
So what Mark was actually saying, and he was talking about every other community and the structures that they have in the community, and we don't have that structure. I think there's a segment of us that don't have that, and that's the part that gets played in the front. And if you would assume that we don't have any of that, because that's always something that we're talking about. But then you look inside, like hidden structure, Black people with money who deal with like-minded Black people that have that money, and they operate within those hidden structures. I don't think that the whole monolith thing is going to necessarily work in terms of trying to explain how our cultures are comparatively to theirs, because it would suggest that all of us face the same exact lives, you know what I'm saying, or the same experiences and things of that nature. And that's not necessarily the case. And in most cases, it's not. I mean, we have some things because of our skin color, complexions, and all that type of thing. But at the end of the day, structure is pretty much how you're raised, and family structure. Everybody's structure is not going to be the same, though. But I would hate to say that, or to look at it like we're downtrodden to a point to where we don't have any structure at all. And I refuse to believe that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't. I don't think that.
Can I jump in? Hold on. So I'm gonna tell y'all, I'm a product of hidden structure called Mesa. When I was in high school, we had a Mesa program, we had Friday Night Live program, and we had student body program. I've lost friends for this whole conversation we're having right now, because they said, Mark, you came from Texas and you were exposed to all of these opportunities, hidden structure that Dre just pointed out. But Mark Alford came from Texas and was already taught that you got to think outside of school, the extracurricular activities, right? The Mesa, the Friday Night Live, and the student body shit. That's how you gonna get to college. And then we got people in our community. I got people in my family that they sit there and call, oh, that's my sister. Oh, Mark, those are the nerd club. I ain't doing none of that shit, right?
Oh, you talk white.
Right?
Yeah. Okay.
You talk white. They trying to get you to do all this white people shit. But yet, right? You go to college, you graduate, and see, we gotta. It's like within our community, we gotta start changing a lot of this mindset. Because why is it that, like, right now, the most popular podcast in the black community are niggas that went to motherfucking jail for killing and selling dope?
You are correct. But that's the whole thing. People don't want to deal with people that are not like-minded. But most of the time, parents are not allowing their kids to have anything but a jail mentality. Or when I say that, I mean not going outside the box. They're not willing to think anything more than you're only going to get to this level. Don't worry about this. This is what you do. This is how you're going to sustain your life. They're not thinking about anything above that. Thinking more work, less than running.
Why?
And there's because there's going to be several types of people in each community, and families that raise their kids a certain way, and some that don't. And those who raise their kid and they feel that, like we were talking about Oprah, feeling like these kids are a lost cause, somebody else can do something for them. Whereas you'll have other people that are coming in and doing the same type of thing, but they're doing it here in the United States. So our biggest division. Our biggest division is still those who have the knowledge to know that they can grow, and those who are being raised by television, music, and the other bullshit, and their parents don't know any better themselves, so they're never going to be able to explore that option until they get some mentor in their life to take them to that next level. Mason, all those things were here when I was growing up. All those things were in the school, throughout the schools when I was growing up, and people were into those. I'm just saying I don't know exactly what's going on right now around the nation, but those were all accessible to kids in whatever school it was. They would ship the kids who were interested, in the parents that got in with them, and they would ship them at certain times a week, and they'll ship them to a facility where they work together, or they put them on computers where they would work through the programs. Yeah. Everybody quiet?
I agree with you. Listen,
but yeah, that's the reason. That's the reason the community has such a hard time, because when you say like-minded, that means that you're basically you're like, until they get to this level, I'm not putting my hat. Let somebody else do it. That's the same way that we're talking about these colleges and these coaches and stuff. That's what Dion basically was like. Well, to this point, I'm the one who gave you the boost in doing this stuff, gave you the blueprint, but you guys don't want to step forward. This right here, I'm still have a dream for myself. I need to step forward and do this, and I can do it at another place, but I gave you the blueprint. Kick in and see what you get.
But see, this is where I get on my emotional
have been there
high
for
horse.
Years.
Exactly.
Right?
It's been right. Yeah. And so okay, so think about it this way. What if the Jackson alumni that's so successful with all of this money, doctors, lawyers, what if they actually was given to the program? What would that look like? What if Oprah and all her billions, we heard
do we need to accept the fact that it's never going to change? That's what it is.
Hold up. It'll change. What if Oprah has actually given and built her? She went to Tennessee State? Is that where she went?
I don't remember.
I'm not sure.
She went to an HBCU, and let's just say she gave $100 million to that out of her billions. What would that really do? What would that really do?
But the thing is this though, man. It's like we can always count pockets and what people got, but you know what I'm saying? Like, what's going to happen with the money? Because what about in the instances where this does happen? You know what I'm saying? The receipts on the impact of the money that they're giving, because we can go into mismanagement of money. It happens on all levels and type of things like that. But
Dion did. Well, let me just point out. Remember, Dion had that video where he said 65,000 people showed up to the game, but we only got receipts for 28,000. I just want to throw that in there with your point.
But it's like that though.
Right.
Ray, early in the week we were looking at the video, right? And he was talking about the things that you want and things that you need. And what did he say? You'll pay for something that you want, that may not be benefiting you, but you'll beg for something you need.
That you need.
Yeah, you're begging for something you need instead of taking care of it the opposite way. That's the first real thing for a structure that people have to do. And they're not being held accountable. They're not holding themselves accountable. So the kids are getting screwed out of that. When you're looking at schools, that's higher learning. So they shouldn't feel that way where they can't put money into certain things. You know, they're like a stigma or something.
Ultimately, man, you know, it's been a failing program for years, eons. And then you get a guy, former football player, who comes in and he changes the game. And then we look at him or put him on a pedestal, or we analyze this dude as if he has a responsibility to stay somewhere and not take advantage of opportunities that will be before him. You know what I'm saying? There's levels to this shit, right?
He just knew where to make the move.
He's one guy. I'm just saying, I mean, wherever he would have went, he went there first. You know what I'm saying? And did what he did. I mean, who's to say he wouldn't have done that, you know, at another school?
Right. He turned down.
Hold on. Hey, but we make no mistake. Look, the problem we got right now, dog, I ain't gonna let you just slide with that one. Somebody got to step up and make a change. Like here's the problem. We are cowards.
What does that look? What does it look like?
No, listen to me. Follow me for a second.
Okay.
We are cowards as a fucking community because what? We let these white people come buy us out. We let everybody else come set up shop in our communities. I'm in motherfucking Oakland right now, and I can look at all these businesses right now, and none of them are owned by nobody like us.
Well,
but we'll sit there. Hold up. We'll sit there and still give them our money, knowing that, hey, man, hold up. We should just stop fucking paying these motherfuckers. They're building wealth on our backs.
Well,
when do we actually
listen?
They're
paying money to those businesses for convenience. It's within the area. That's the reason that's happening.
So when do we say enough is enough and stop? When do we just say, okay, you know what? I'm gonna sacrifice my life for this?
That. It doesn't. It's not gonna work like that.
Yes, it does. That's what a coward. That's why I say, as a community, we are cowards because we won't give up our lives, or we won't give up our livelihood for the fundament of Black people.
Right, because we're always gonna be in this position, right? Because we've had the leaders, we've had the great speakers, and all that type of shit, but for the people that are doing what they're supposed to do regarding their families, why would they be considered cowards if they're doing everything that they're supposed to do to take care of their families?
And they're not.
Excuse me?
They're not cowards because this is the thing. Because
at some point you gotta sacrifice life and liberty to move forward. That's what a revolution is.
Well, that's not everybody on that type of revolution. So check it out. What I'm trying to say is that you have several different type of people in the community, right? So when you're trying to, it's like herding cats because you have so many different people thinking that this is important for us to do. This is important for us to do. And no one's going to be on the same page because you're thinking everybody's supposed to have the same thoughts.
Yeah. I'm saying that somebody,
and we're trying to get together.
Okay, I get. So this is a good segue into Kanye. Kanye, as much as I don't care for him, he is actually the epitome of what the fuck I'm talking about. Kanye then gave up $1 billion to prove the point that we niggas are fucking cowards. Look at Shaq and all of them talking shit about the brother. Because why? They scared to lose the bag. When are we gonna be afraid to finally give up the bag for our liberty and our real freedom?
Well, I think
we're just gonna sit here.
Hold on. Before we get,
did Kanye give it up? Did they take it away from his ass?
Yeah, exactly.
Right. How much was that liquid or contract? Hold on, but Elijah has something to say. I want to get that, and we get back to it because it wasn't all his money. It was just, just paper.
What they thought was capable of.
What were you going to say, Elijah?
Like my grandfather said, it's just fucking air.
Nigga, Elijah, what was you saying?
As far as supporting the Black community and everything, I'm with you on it. I get you. But in order for us to do that, Black people need to actually have businesses that's actually trying to provide a service to other Black people rather than capitalize off of Black people. That's the problem. A lot of people build businesses strictly to capitalize, and I'm supposed to shop with you specifically because you're Black. But then you're not offering a service to me that would make me want to spend with you just because you're Black, and then I'm wrong when I don't do it. So it's a
Yeah.
Double-edged sword.
Handle a need.
So yeah.
So what if we actually start training our kids to actually serve the community and create a like fulfill a need? What if we actually like? That's an idea.
I mean, yeah,
Just
no.
saying.
What I'm saying, I don't think that you're off on that, but you there's people that do that. You mean to tell me that out of all these 45 million niggas in this fucking in America that don't nobody operate with that mentality?
They
then
do.
We really ain't shit.
I'm just talking about. Hold on.
Go ahead.
This is what we don't operate from. We need to Voltron that because
I get
now,
that, bro. Yeah, we do.
Hold up.
But
what
what does that look like, bro? We
is,
could say that a million Sundays, but I'm just trying to say. I mean, we've been saying that for the entire experience. And what I'm saying is,
so the average black person thinks that opening up a restaurant or a little cleaners is some bullshit. But yet, if you go wherever y'all niggas live, the cleaners is owned by Asian. The liquor you went bought or the blunts you went bought, it wasn't bought by no black person. You bought that shit from an Arab or Indian.
Sure, absolutely.
Right. So why can't you buy that shit from, brother such and such that just opened the shit up from the church?
Because he wants to open all the packs of blunts and sell them individually so he can make as much money as he can.
Well,
even though they're doing that too. They're doing the same thing.
They're doing that. But I'm saying we got to start, like, as a community, y'all niggas need to, I'm telling you, I keep putting this book up. You niggas need to read this motherfucking book and start,
the other thing is,
like,
you have
teaching
to have
niggas this principle.
Listen, you have to go to be able to work with people, you have to understand the differences and not harp on the differences to actually work with people. And that's the thing. If something doesn't work for you, you don't want to deal with it. Like I said, you can have 3 things right in the out of 10 and work with somebody. But it's so much of we have to have everything right, or I'm not willing to take the risk because I'm putting myself out here, and these other folks don't understand the same thing, or they may not value the same thing. Even though we want to get to the end, they may not value the same thing. So I might take a loss. That's pretty much what's going on when you're saying that black communities aren't working together, because they all have different experiences, even though they have some of the same critics and some of the same things. They've all had different experiences, and they're trying to look and see how they're not going to get bamboozled or fucked over from their own people, because we are around our own people. That's all that is right there. It's going to continue to happen.
Well, I think that, like I said before, I don't think that nothing that you're saying is wrong. I'm just like, what does it look like to make that happen? What does that movement look like? You know what I mean? Like, so outside of a, structured home with parents, good parental upbringing, those type of things, right there, when we're talking about a basic structure, employed, being able to, have access to resources when it comes to education and things of that nature or whatever. And, raising a solid, creating a solid foundation within your community, and from that it grows, from your block to your community, because the charity starts at the home, all that stuff in order for that to work. And I think that ultimately it starts with reestablishing our leadership in the home, you know what I mean, as men.
Well, one of the other things
some of the media that we let kids take in, and
hang on, I was gonna say one of the other things is we got to get away from this goddamn criminal gangster shit. Because the criminals and gangsters actually got more clout. No, fuck it. For real. They got more clout, and they got the ears of the young people more than they like. Okay, I'm looking at all of us on here. Most of us are squares.
Yep.
And we bought 50.
Except for
and
the
people
one.
Like hold up.
That big head one right there.
Hey, Jamar, tell the truth and shame the devil, right?
Yeah.
Your generation looks up to the gangsters more than they look up to people like us, squares, right?
Yeah, that's true.
They turn the gangsters into rock stars.
They turn them into, and so right there, we hustling backwards.
Right.
We hustling backwards. And we sitting there going, and we'll put, that nigga Al Poe, he sold all this dope, he killed this many, and we go, and I look at the shit too, I ain't gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
I do.
But goddamn, at the end of the day, I'm not sitting here promoting this shit and telling my little youngins, hey man, that's what you should aspire to do.
Right.
Because
You don't
everybody
consume
that
it.
aspired.
You don't
Go ahead,
consume
go
it
ahead.
on. You don't consume it in a level of ignorance. You know, you consume it for what it is.
Right.
But
For what
but
it
as
is, it's
kids
just
are younger,
entertainment.
there should be way more censorship in what they're watching, what they're listening to, what they're around. But those are the things that teach them. Too many. You had them being babysitted. They can go and turn on the radio. They're cursing and everything else they're gonna do. They can
Electronics is
talk and
around
be
us
Well,
24/7.
they can
okay,
be. We can
here's the
listen
double-edged sword. But here's the double-edged sword of
online.
Kanye. Why do we put why when we sitting here talking about election, we looking at our people, they put Cardi B or Kanye in front of us. You don't see none of the other groups putting up some entertainer. I'm gonna tell y'all a real quick story. I'm gonna tell you a real quick
Democrats
story.
do. They do it all the
Hold
time. They
up,
put
hold up.
all
I'm
the
gonna tell
movie
you a real
stars up.
hold on. I'm gonna tell y'all a real quick story. They got this core program out here in California that allows people that were incarcerated, black, that lived in a certain zip code to get in the weed business. Long story short, we went to a city council meeting where we had to do whatever. But here's what I saw. The Taiwanese and the Taiwan community, business people from Sacramento showed up to that meeting. They had a spokesperson. That spokesperson was at the podium, but behind him was all of the business people, and they were locked in arms showing power.
Solidarity, yeah.
And I said to the people, like the guys in our little group, which were mostly black, I said, y'all see that, right? And they was like, come on, Mark, don't start that shit.
Hey, listen. We foster everybody. Every black man is against us when we're young. That's it. It's always fostered. You're looking at another nigga thinking that he want to do something to you at starting real young. So in the first case, when you're talking about solidarity, this is something that's centuries old that you're up against, and the mental aspect, not even what we foster when we're talking to our kids, but the shit that just in culture itself. That's the reason that's so hard, because everybody is either a gang member, that somebody killed somebody did this, somebody robbed somebody, and they have beef. So when you're talking about people that later on in life, they're trying to do this, there's always those things in the background that are working against them. And that's a big thing, because when you look at TV and music and all that shit, it's still hitting black folks are this and that. So we're not going to work with these guys because they have some different agenda when they were younger. So they have the same agenda right now.
It can be a very frustrating topic. I think that all of us on here, we experience it, and I know that we agree on a lot of levels when it comes to that, and it's one of the most frustrating things to talk about, you know what I mean? Because it's like, I think everybody has the right answer, but we just can't find the right way. And
I got a question.
It's really one of the most frustrating things, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, yeah, we're right, we know this, we got the answer right now, we can explain what we see, but for whatever fucking reason, it's like being stuck. It's like running in a hamster wheel. You know what I'm saying?
In a box.
It's just running in this hamster wheel, and we can't seem to, get out, you know what I'm saying, and get on the road so we can compete like others. You know what I mean? And then I hate that, because then it seems like it perpetuates this victim mentality, and I don't feel like I'm a victim. You know what I mean? That's one of the most it's one of the most frustrating things about that conversation.
Well, we're ready to chime in on you and you guys. Listen, like Andre, Terrence, yourself, Ray, and even Ivory. I know you ain't got no kids, but look at Ray's son. Okay, let's back it up. We all hung around some gang members, whether it's family, friends, or whatever, neighborhood people that we grew up with.
I don't know any.
Andre, for a fact, he don't want his kids to be like that. Ray, he don't look at his son. His son ain't like that. My son is, like you said, like Mark said, we all squares in general. My son ain't like that, and I'm sure if Ivory had a kid, he wouldn't do that the same thing, and Terrence the same way, and Jax. Jack's, he's a little bit younger, but he ain't gonna have his kids out there, fucking around. Excuse my language, because I know this is YouTube, but I'm just saying,
we're
like
past
you
the
said,
2-minute mark, man. You good?
I'm just saying, like Mark said, like we ain't handing, or not us, but like your son. He said, I look up to the or his friends or people his age look up to the gangsters, and then which is kind of weird because all of us, we hung with gangsters, and we want our kids to be better than and not do that shit. And look at your son right now. Look at my son. Look at Andre's kids. Look at Terrence's kids that he's raising, and his own kids. So it's all about, like you said, the home training and instilling that, with your beliefs,
The discipline,
Yeah.
self-discipline, being self-aware, and all that. But I mean, I think it's always healthy to have a conversation, though. But and work towards that. And that's why I say, you try to group yourself with like-minded people, and you hold them accountable. You know what I mean? And you hold them down as much as you can, and you build and you inspire. I think that's how you get that movement rolling. Being present, parents, fathers, that kind of thing. Foundation, if whether you with the woman or not, you know what I mean. But just that you get around people that's on that, and you inspire others to see that they can do the same things. I think we start there.
Here's
but
a
it
question.
really is the accountability thing.
This is the top question. Okay. What is Deion? How's his impact going to be on the Pac-12? And Pac-12, right? How's his impact going to be on the Pac-12? And how is he going to do good for? How well is Colorado going to end up doing with him being there, for his education and bringing new life to the program, the kids and everything?
Well, they first of all, they can't get no worse. Let's get that straight. So they're gonna get better.
That was coming.
They already on the bottom.
Second of all, just tell his kids when they come in. Remember Kobe Bryant. What happened down here with Kobe Bryant? Don't get no damn trouble. That's your education. All right. They're gonna be all right. So you follow those two.
They're gonna win 9 games. I'm going out on a limb. I'm gonna say.
I think he's gonna be.
Will
very
they become? Will they become a premium power in the Pac-12?
They'll be eligible.
Because they've been there before.
Well, also
They've
because
been
we
there
got
before.
UCLA and USC leaving, so that's another thing. But
But they'll win 6 games.
He's the top. Isn't he the top recruiter in football?
I bet you
college football.
Next year. I bet you that.
He damn near finna be. He about to be.
That's what I was reading.
I think he has it to do it. I think he will be able to.
Man, listen. Prime, he said,
like he said,
I'm coming. He said, y'all might want to get into that portal, man.
You said he's gonna win 6 games next year?
Yeah. What'd you say, Elijah?
He'll be
both 400 recruits reached out in the portal.
Yeah.
Like they trying to get there.
He's something about that dude, bro.
Yep.
Hey,
he does it big. He's always doing it big.
They're gonna be Oregon State next year, though. I'm telling you, they're gonna be both eligible.
Of course.
Who do you guys have as quarterback next year?
Yeah, Oregon State need a quarterback out of that portal. We get a good quarterback out of that portal. We good.
Hold on. Y'all getting a backup quarterback from the ACC? Is that what it is?
No.
One of those quarterbacks that got benched.
We got a 5-star recruit coming to Oregon State, brother.
Okay, he still got to grow.
Don't let Deion hear that.
he going for everybody.
Hey, he gonna do the he gonna do the Nebraska or the Alabama or the Georgia. We're gonna be 3-4 deep. Some of y'all ain't gonna have scholarships, but y'all gonna be on the team. Yeah.
All right, so check this out.
Hey,
go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
No,
I was gonna say I saw a podcast and they was talking about how raw he came in, with the and I actually not necessarily admired, but I respected him coming in and telling them cats that, hey, look, you probably want to join the port. Because I'd rather a coach be honest with me. And it was funny because they was like, y'all women, a few of y'all play ball. Y'all know how them coaches will come in and lie to you.
All the
and
time.
You sitting there. And so I'd rather a coach come tell me, look, bro, you might as well go on in the portal because you ain't gonna probably have no spot here. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it was a little bit of debate as to like, was he being too raw, you know, by telling them players that?
I think
he wasn't being too raw, man. These kids need to stop being all sensitive.
Listen.
They're supposed to be grown-ups. They're becoming grown-ups. You know what the game is in there.
The same talk you say at the bar with your homies, them coaches are saying the same stuff behind closed doors, and the kids always trying to figure out, oh, I didn't see this coming. What happened? No, he let them know exactly what's coming, and so they can say what happened. So, and that's how it should be done. It hurts, but hey, that's what's going on behind your back. But now it's right there on a silver platter in front of your face. But I promise you this: the kids that stick around, they're gonna be rewarded. Watch.
Well, hang on. Hey, Jamar, hold on. Jamar, let me ask you a question. You know, if you was in that situation, would you rather the coach be upfront and honest with you, or would you rather them kind of sugarcoat it or whatever?
No, I need to know.
I need to know. Yeah,
pull my dick. I can do my own dick, man.
But the reason I asked Jamar is because, as we know, his generation, I'm sorry to say, but y'all ain't used to having rawness.
No,
y'all grew up with participation trophies and shit like that. I'm just saying.
He ain't like listen, bro. He ain't like
he
that.
knows.
I know you might be raised son, but you know you around your boys. You see some bitch ass niggas, I'm sure now.
Right, but it's just like it just goes to, it's a testament to just how I was raised. Like I'm actually able to handle it because of the way my pops was, and even my mom, like she didn't sugarcoat shit from when I was a little kid, you know. And I was always like the innocent, you know what I'm saying, good kid that stayed out of trouble, but they always kept it real with me. So like any form of truth, I'm actually able to take it in and just, hey, you know what I'm saying? Just it is what it is. I mean, the truth is the truth. I just would rather know up front.
Well, I'm glad you said that. Hold on, Jamal. I'm glad you said that because I ain't sugarcoat either. Listen, you see your daddy's background. If you don't get no maid clean that shit up, you're gonna be just like that when you get older. You already got a background. You one step away. They call me real, nigga.
Nothing wrong with my background.
I think the key word is what's the key word today?
It's a whole lot of keywords. I just think that it was a lot of passion. So we're gonna go with that because this is we get talking about it. This is something that it's frustrating for all of us, man. You know what I mean? Because it's like we're under attack right now, especially black men. You know what I'm saying? Yep. So it's like this shit is frustrating. That, you know, when we think about this shit as a whole, why are we even having a conversation like
whatever level of success?
Why? But I mean, it's like, why do we have to have this conversation? You know what I'm saying? Like it's just fucked up, man. But anyway, hold on.
The key word is sharing resources, because I learned a lot from BGE, my friends Ray. Going to school and then sharing the resources that we had. But if you guys don't share it, nobody's gonna know this and share it down to the next generation. And a lot of us, not saying all of us, but a lot of us ain't sharing that because, like I was going back to what we was talking about earlier, we've been around a lot of shit, and we don't trickle that down to our siblings. We try to be like, I want y'all to do better. I want y'all to do this and that and the other. Look at Ray's son. Look at your kids, Dre. Look at your kids, Terrence. Look at Renault, little Renault, and your kids too, Jax. So, and I don't know about you, Mark. You got any kids?
He's like, look at your kids.
What? Nigga, I got 2 daughters, nigga.
Look at your kids. Look at.
Well, I don't know. They ain't around me.
Right. Now I got 2 daughters. They good. They good. No, for real.
Hey.
No, my daughter said.
Hey, there's a such thing as networking when you're a kid too. I understand you teach your kids that what type of person to be around.
First at 5, disturbing new details. A 10-year-old boy charged with killing his own mother.
Police say he told investigators he pulled the trigger because he was mad she wouldn't let him buy something online. Let's get right to Steve Shamraz, anchoring our coverage live in Wauwatosa tonight from the Juvenile Justice Center. That's where the young accused shooter is in custody, Steve.
Yeah, Katie, the alleged killer here, again, only 10 years old, but facing homicide charges in adult court. That child is being held here at the Juvenile Justice Center, where he's awaiting an appearance next week before a judge. We're going to bring my colleague Uba Ali in now. And Uba, you have been going through the details of what happened in some of the court documents in this case today.
Yeah, Steve, and the details are very alarming. The complaint describes the very moment that child went into his mother's gun lock box and decided to take the gun out.
It's still a surprise when there's a shooting around Juicy's quiet neighborhood.
Steve Frisch has lived near 87th and Hemlock for more than 2 decades. His quiet neighborhood was shaken up last week after police say a 10-year-old boy killed his mother. Frisch described the family as average.
He just asked me how I'm doing and stuff like that.
According to a criminal complaint, the boy originally told police he accidentally shot his mom when he was twirling the gun, but the next day the family called police with serious concerns. They say the boy told his aunt he was actually aiming the gun at his mother. According to detectives, the boy said he got the gun because he was mad at his mom for waking him up at 6 in the morning and that she would not allow him to order a virtual reality headset from Amazon. Police say the boy told them he got the gun by taking his mom's keys to the gun safe. He says he took up a shooting stance and that he wanted to shoot the wall to scare her, but she walked in front of him. Family told the police the boy had, quote, rage issues all his life, and at 4 years old picked up a puppy by its tail and swung it around until it whined in pain. The criminal complaint states that 6 months ago, the 10-year-old filled a balloon with flammable liquid and set it on fire, which caused a sectional and carpet in their home to catch fire. A sibling told police the 10-year-old was meeting with a therapist who gave him a concerning diagnosis that led his mother to place cameras inside their home. The cameras were unplugged 2 weeks ago. A family member told police, quote, they felt bad for not stepping in earlier because they knew that eventually something bad was going to happen. This morning, we asked Mayor Kevlar Johnson about the charges the 10-year-old is facing.
Anytime there's violence that happens in Milwaukee, whether it's committed by somebody who's 10 years old or much older than that, that gives me pause. I don't want to see anybody hurt or lose their lives in the city. In this particular case, I don't have the details just yet. This is something that is just coming to my attention just this morning.
Now, a cash bond of $50,000 was set for the 10-year-old who will remain at this Justice Juvenile facility, Steve. And according to detectives, that 10-year-old did admit to them that he knew a gun could kill. That 10-year-old is now being charged, like you said, as an adult with first-degree reckless homicide.
So much going on with that young boy in that home, Uba Ali. Thanks for walking us through that. So,
yeah, the good son fucked up.
That's a devil. That's a sad motherfucker. Say,
but as they were saying it, they kept walking back him just shooting, and he was trying to scare her, and then did it. And he probably got guilt, felt guilt anyway to come back and tell the family member that he was doing that, and that's how it happened. But this shows that a lot of times people are reaching out trying to get help, that are within your family. And we sometimes aren't there for it,
Well, I'm gonna say like this though. So here's a question. So what do you do? I mean, okay, so the kid, so how do you handle a kid? We got all these men on the board. So we're gonna go quick. What would you do in the first incident? So he put flammable liquid. This kid is kind of smart. So he put flammable liquid in a fucking water balloon and lit it on fire.
Because he had a trail of destruction, and he was already going to therapy already. They said so all the things were being done the right way, but we couldn't stop him. All right, and unfortunately, how it ended shouldn't never happen. But
little dumb.
Yeah, but they did everything they could. He was going to therapy, so they did what they was trying to do to help the boy. Anything more than that probably wasn't discussed, but that's a step in the right direction. So they were aware of his issues. They were trying to get him help. They were trying to save his soul, and unfortunately, what happened.
What about getting him around? What about his father? Get him around men, because obviously he wasn't intimidated by women. Getting him around men and having to be held accountable before it gets to that point where he thinks it's okay. He said he was trying to scare his mom. You ain't trying to scare your damn dad. You're not trying to scare maybe your uncle or something.
Well, he got to the goddamn gun box. Elijah, what do you think?
Oh man, shit. It's definitely unfortunate. I mean, they definitely looks like they were taking some steps, but I really don't know all the details to say what they should or shouldn't have done other than what's presented to us. But I mean, just based on this, my experience, just hearing that he's been in trouble for quite some time, and there felt the need to have cameras in the home. Maybe they could have had some more preventative measures as far as him even having that much unsupervised time.
Yeah.
Or be somewhere. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because I understand that's her baby, not my baby. But I mean, if you can't sleep at night around him, he don't need to be there.
And see,
I'm dropping him off somewhere.
And see, and you're right.
You needed male figures.
So I don't think that had nothing to do with a male figure. There was something.
I think it does because you tell me
it's everything.
You have a
I'm with Terrence on this. Go ahead.
Listen, most of the time you have these guys doing this crazy shit. There's no male figure in their life. They're like that stifle them when they start building.
Jeffrey Dahmer had one.
No.
It's like Ray said.
Listen, he eating folks and he ain't even at the damn. He had nobody was around him when he was doing all that shit. He was experimenting in the dark. He wasn't letting people weren't seeing that really. We're talking about when you're progressing, like he was trying to scare his mom, right? He's not okay with a male figure when they're in the figure. Obviously, when the male figure gets in there and they're watching what you do, you're progressing with the woman.
Ultra violent though, you know.
It is, but the liquid. The liquid, that means that he's somebody saw it from somebody. He saw it from somebody. He was smart enough to understand what it was, but he's also trying to get attention. But at the same time, he's trying to control situations. So you tell me, grown ass man with a kid, he might have got his ass beat sometimes, and whether he may not have killed somebody, he might have changed some of his ways. He might end up in jail, but nobody be dead at the time. I'm saying
I feel like there's a lot of men that are in the lives of these fucking maniacs. What? Ted Bundy?
There's a lot of men inside of.
No.
That's the problem with black people.
I hear y'all. I'm not gonna buy that one. I'm not buying that.
Okay. Men. So it's different for them, but go ahead. Go explain to me why. If you think that a man would stop, a serial killer from if they're fucked up like that,
growing up,
but hold on. But there's been I just cited 2 examples where we shot that to hell.
Go ahead and say it again.
They had their dads in their fucking lives, and they were like you said, Dahmer, he ate fucking people, and then Ted Bundy beat bitches to death. So I'm just saying,
they're truly hiding things. They're hiding. They was not even that. Yeah, you're right. Psychologically, they were fucked up.
They had a bitch ass dad that probably wasn't even in their life.
They didn't come. It was a woman problem. It wasn't a fucking man problem in the first place when they're doing that shit.
I just feel like
that's the whole thing. You grow up with the father in your life. You're gonna have to. But he sounds like he's deranged. Either way it goes. But I'm saying you grow up with a father, like some type of mentors that are men in your life that won't allow you to dominate situations.
We're not on the show talking. We're gonna think about the niggas that we around that had their daddies around, niggas that are fucking lunatics. You know them. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny.
Check it out. Were the dads really around when they were doing the shit?
Yeah,
or was the dads in and out when they were doing the shit?
Right. The key word is they had their daddy around them. Around them is different than
not
in their lives.
Were the fathers emotionally in tune with the kid?
Yeah.
Not only that, the father's there to hold him accountable as he's growing with this bullshit. Yeah. That's the whole thing.
But I mean, but that's to assume
no worries.
None of that's happening, right?
Layer nacho fries.
Well, listen, I don't believe. Listen, I believe if the father's not fostering the shit that they're doing, he's just a boy. We're gonna let him do that. If he's not doing that and paying attention to the dude, And then you
Nah.
also monitor what type of shit that the kids are seeing and doing, and who's influenced, even friends who's influencing their shit. Because that, like I said many times, a lot of the stuff that comes up is because they're not raised well. They're raised by other things other than parents, and then they don't have male figures that are actually productive and actually trying to help raise them.
But you got to look at he has something going on. There's shit that ain't connecting. He's lacking empathy. You see what I'm saying? You didn't grab the dog and you twirling the dog around.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
You see what I'm saying? So you talking about anger and the shit that he displayed towards his mom. Now, okay, every one of us didn't had a male figure get on our ass, yell at us, cuss at us, or whatever, right? So now you have a dominant male figure, right? Chastising this kid whose shit ain't hitting right. He could his anger could be exacerbated. You see what I'm saying? And
you are right, but
be even bigger than what it is. So in regards to the gun, okay, the mom that's on her. Okay, you got this crazy ass kid. Why you got a gun in your house?
And then told him how to get to the gun, obviously.
Like Ray said, you do stupid shit, you get a stupid prize.
Well, hey, but it also comes down to this. Like I said, there's no accountability. That kid having accountability by a male figure is going to make a difference in that. It's like these fathers back out. These fathers back out of the situation when it comes down to their kids being wrong.
All them single moms raise all these strong black men around the world, so I don't want to believe that bullshit.
Listen,
and they also do the other way. No, they also raise all these fucked up men around the world too, because the dads are in their life. So you can look at that both ways, okay? Because it comes down to male mentors.
If what you're saying is true, we wouldn't have a gang violence problem.
Yeah.
Wow. Listen, bro.
If what you're saying is true, all these strong black women, if it was true, we would not have a gang problem in the black community because there's too many strong, emotional black women trying to be dad and mom.
Andre, hold on, let Andre say what he's about to say real quick.
Raise your question. That's a poverty problem. Okay, we want more money than what our eyes can see before we can earn it. That's
little kids being put in positions of grown-ups. That's the problem. When women take on the responsibility of raising the kid, they don't want, and the dad may not be in the life. They're letting them try to become the little man. They start making decisions that they're not ready for, and start trying to understand things they won't understand through life till they have life experiences. That's where they
hold up, and all these little boys are seeing how mama and grandma use her emotions, not calm, not poised. You learn that from a man. You don't learn that from learn that from a single mom that's trying to be mom and dad. She don't know how to be dad.
With men. You watch how men deal with other men.
Exactly. Men don't go around actually trying to beat each other up, all emotional and shit. But if you are raised by a mama and a grandma, what you gonna do? You gonna react all the time to your emotions. But if you got a man around,
what it is we learn by watching more than we learn by listening. So it depends on what type of man you're sitting there dealing with.
Don says so. I guess I'm doing a terrible job raising my son.
I'm gonna go back to
don't feel bad because we're saying what statistics say, okay? Because you're getting mixed up. You also have to have male role models for your son and being able to deal with have them dealing with them, which you have that. So Ray is one of the biggest role models. So that you got to understand he sees the uncles. He sees my dad. He sees Ray's dad. So he's having more successful people to look at and be able to deal with, Don. So anyway, back to what you were saying. Go ahead, Mark.
DeMar, look at how the young man, just his demeanor and everything says. If I never knew him, I'd be like, okay, he got his dad in his life just by how he carry himself.
How many parents do you know their kids want to stray. You can raise your kids right all you want with two parents. Once they get older and out that house with their friends, you can't control them 24/7.
That's why you do it early in life. You give them structure, mental structure, and that's
Right.
what I'm talking about.
You can't control them. They're gonna do what
Nah,
they
they're looking.
if they have a mind of
But
their
to
own,
me,
they
like
think
I
for
would
themselves.
think it would be.
I'm not
instilled at a
spewing
young
bullshit
age,
because
that's
I know
how it
for
worked
a
for me.
fact that you can look at any of these.
Jamari,
Don's
go
over there
ahead,
making
Jamari.
comments. I'm just saying
That's
over there.
fine. I'll send her the link. She can hop in and say she got to
Yeah.
say.
Okay.
I
All
don't know
right.
what-
Back to. I'm sorry. Go
I'm gonna
ahead.
go back. I'm
Jamari?
gonna go back to Ray's original question.
Hold on.
Would you
Jamari's
allow-
going to finish his point, and then you can talk, Ronald. Go ahead, Jamari.
No, I was saying, like, I think for most kids, like when if just starting out young, I don't know, like it's just always been this thing for me to just follow what my parents are telling me. So instinctively, I just instill everything that they told me, like certain structures, certain values, certain morals, things that they told me not to do. Like it was just instilled in me. Like I just really took it in and honed in on what they told me and just lived with that all the way into adulthood. And I don't know, like it just doesn't work for all kids. It doesn't work for all children, but it really depends on the kid itself. You know what I'm saying? Like Andre said, like once we get grown, it's like we out the house, we can do whatever we want to do. You know what I'm saying? It's not really much that the parent can do anymore. It's not much control that they have. However, I just think for me, just me personally, off of my experience, I just was able to instill it and take it in differently. And so that's how it worked for me.
So Jamari, you had your grandparents in your life.
And that's why
your
the Bible
grandparents
says,
and you have other people that were in your life teaching you right from wrong and holding you accountable as how you acted around grown-ups and acted with other people, right?
Yeah.
You had a grandmother that did certain things. You had people that those are also the things that causes you to look at things a certain way. When you see a group and you're young, you're seeing a group act a certain way and dealing with each other a certain way. It allows kids to learn because they're watching everything. They learn how to deal with things.
They're not
and how
listening,
to act. They're not just getting bullied into this thing. But I'm saying is having your dad, because your dad's going to tell you straight. He's not going to candy coat the shit. Having those other people there to get you the center, but your dad's going to tell you the real. He's not going to candy coat the shit, and he's going to tell you when you act that you're fucking up and when you're doing the right thing. That's what I'm talking about, having a mentor, having a father, uncle, whoever is in your life. They keep you so what you feel is centered. You always go back to that base. You go back to that structure because it came from that. Came from the understanding the family structure and also dealing with your people telling the truth, and especially your dad, because you don't want to disappoint him. Plus, you feared him for a second, but you also knew that he wanted the best for you, and then you wanted structure. That's why it is important for women to have damn dads and uncles and whatever, and a family structure to actually teach these kids, these boys, how you do this. You don't let them mouth off to their grandparents, their uncles, their aunts, and all that shit. You make sure they're held accountable by each one, and you back that shit until they get older. So when they come to that friend that's fucked up, they try to actually imprint some of the shit they learned on them. And if they're not working, they know to stay the fuck away from it. Too many people are not willing to do that as parents.
Yeah.
And they feel a certain way instead of just understanding structure is what you got to get, foundation. It comes from the family, but you still need that male when you're dealing with men to be able to come back and get him centered. You can't bully him.
I mean, I just don't think that, if somebody's a killer, serial killer, like I was saying before, whether the dad in there or not, there's something wrong with that wiring system, and I don't care who is there and what type of.
That's fine. What is the percentage on? What do you think the percentage is for people being wired like that to go off and just become serial killers?
He showed the signs, bro. He showed the signs.
He showed the signs with a single mom in the house. If a man, his daddy was in the house. He would have nipped that shit in the butt.
That's why in the Bible in Acts it says once you turn 13, you're accountable for your own sins because they know they can't control your ass. You can go out and make your own sinful decisions.
Well, we learn from what we see around what's acceptable when we're growing up as men. We learn from what we see other people do and what is acceptable, and that's the whole thing. So if you want to say that his mind is wired a certain way, his mind's wired that way because certain things didn't fall in play, that certain structures weren't there for him. I'm sure that some people are born a certain way where they hit their head or their brain, they have a brain deformity,
Terrence,
something.
So
But I'm just saying that there's a real thing with it. Watching and learning. Go ahead.
So Terrence, when Cain killed Abel, what was his structure like?
We don't know. We don't really know. We know that he was jealous, but we don't know what was real. We don't know the total details. We just hear what he did because of jealousy.
Well, Terrence, the part that got me though, like with the story with the kid, is that after this one I knew something wasn't right, but after he did the shit, like he had no remorse and he went and bought the shit on Amazon anyway. Like he went on their account and just bought it.
Yes.
He bought it anyway. So
this starts earlier in life.
Yeah.
This starts 3, 4, 5, and what's acceptable and how people deal with the child at that point. I'm telling you. Children are resilient. Listen, children are resilient from the day that they're born. That's the reason they'll cry when they cry. And they'll try to fake your ass out in the first 3-4 years to figure out how to manipulate you. It's born in them. It's your nervous system.
You're making an argument for a normal kid. You see what I'm saying?
No, I'm not. I'm saying
you are. You're missing just what Jamari was saying. How the kid he didn't mourn. I mean, I can only go by what his parents were saying. He didn't mourn nothing. He went out and got what he wanted. You see what I'm saying?
So you're telling me kids can play video games and listen, kids are playing video games, learning violent things, watching movies or watching people around them do violent things, do things that are over line. Those kids aren't normal when they go out and do something like this.
What game? You tell me one game that they sell where it got a kid grabbing a dog and swinging it by his fucking tail.
No, you have YouTube. You have videos all the time showing bad shit. There's videos all the time showing all types of bad shit that kids get because people are letting forms of media raise kids at times. And then the younger they are when they see that, the more they think this is real. That's what happened with music. That's what happened with the music.
Hey, so hold up. So Ivory, so you really believe that a single woman can raise a boy?
Hey, I come from
with the help of somebody, with the help
of whoa. Because if I understand that story, that dude was just his mom. There was no man around, right?
Yeah, but what I'm saying, here's what I'm saying to that, okay? It happens. Okay, there's single women out there. There's some type of male role model that helps them, whether it be the teacher, whether it be the pastor, the deacon, aunties, boyfriend, coach, whatever. There's going to be some type of a male out there. What I'm trying to explain to you is remember, I had 12 years working with adolescent kids, mainly kids that look like us. Okay, so what I'm telling you is true, bro. So here's it when shit ain't firing, bro. You can't compare a kid that has a mental disorder with the kid who has regular thinking, bro.
I know, but
he said is red flags. What normal house do you put cameras and shit in to watch your kid,
certain mental things come from when they're really young. Certain mental things you're talking about happen to traumas when they're young. And I'm talking about the first 3-4 years of their life. Sets them up for later on, things that they see early. So they're desensitized to certain things, and certain things they go with it. And that's what I keep saying. People are raised. A lot of times these kids are seeing shit that you never believed that they would see online and the movies and listening to music. Why do you think that this generation looks at the music industry and look at the dope dealers the way they do now? They look at like everything is real. Everything has to be death, right? When we were coming up, we looked at it, we saw certain things, but we didn't push it to the limit. Now they can hear how this was this is that, and people want to be better or bigger, and they think this is how society is supposed to be. And that's the thing that's fostered a lot of times.
I can roll with you if you said that's a percentage, but you saying that's 100% the issue.
No, that's what I was. I'm saying that there's a listen. You being around things, that's a good portion.
Go ahead.
All right, listen, y'all. Thank you, Ray. I have a daughter, and her brother, who's a fucking menace from birth. He terrorized my daughter, his siblings, and he ended up killing a young girl. Y'all know about that on Rocky View.
Yeah.
I told them to get rid of that motherfucker. So like Scooty said, anybody that's twirling a dog around by his tail for entertainment and purposes to hurt that motherfucker, he gotta go. The bitch gotta go. If it was a female, if it was a male, they gotta go. Fuck that kid. And they didn't let him go. And then now he killed some people, just like Parrish.
I think you're correct.
He killed that girl over there, and he was a menace to society. We warned him. He was a detrimental to his own siblings,
Ain't
his
he out of
mother,
jail?
father, me. I think he is. His time is up. But I'm surprised he survived that long bit. But he has some people inside that watched him. But anyway,
Well, I hope he don't see this and look for your ass the way you talk.
that nigga.
Look, man, you got him looking outside the car.
That nigga ain't 14.
No, it ain't no funny thing. But you're correct. But what I keep saying is, sometimes what you think is mental illness starts at a very young age because of what they go through, what they see, and what they have in their life, and then it changes.
And what they're allowed to do, and what they're
never
allowed to do.
What'd you say?
It can be genetic too.
And what they're allowed to do.
No, you're correct. Genetics can be it. And I'm just saying that what I don't know what the percentage is for the genetics thing, like Dahmer and Bundy. I don't know exactly what that is, but that's the reason I know that you're telling the truth, Scooty, when you're saying that it could be this, because it is that. But in certain cases, which I'm kind of thinking that this kid right here, just because he was swinging around the thing, doing the flammable liquid and all that, that doesn't mean that he was mentally retarded. It means he saw some shit and somebody taught him shit earlier. That's one thing that's there. He didn't come up with that himself.
I didn't say he was retarded, man.
No, that's not what I know.
Right, but what I'm saying is the average kid ain't thinking like, hey man, I'm gonna sit up here and grab that goddamn dog and twirl it by his fucking tail till it fucking stops. You see what I'm saying?
No, I know, but does that mean that he was? Does that mean that he was wired different from being born, or does that mean that he went through something to get him to that level? That's what I'm saying. That's my debate.
All right, listen, bro. That my little step kid or whatever.
There she go.
First of all, Marcus and Terrence, you
hold up, because he's in the middle of talking. So Renaud, finish.
I'm sorry, Renaud.
No, you're good. Little Parrish, he was not raised. He was raised like if you will exclusively. He wasn't raised in no deranged family, no drugs, no other shit. He was raised right. With three other motherfuckers that was raised that grew up just great. But this motherfucker was fucked up from the start. And we said this about him. He ain't right. He's tormenting his own siblings when he's 2 and 3 years old, and his older sister that's 7. So, So, Terrence, I mean, yes, I agree with you. Like, they see some shit in the household, but
are you gonna are you planning on landing on a point, or are you gonna keep going?
Well, my point is, because Terrence was saying that
it can be either or. I know that it can be either or. That's I was just saying the percentage. What?
All right. We got it. Don, go ahead. No, you're up.
What's that noise?
Okay, so I don't know what that noise is. Probably Renaud. Anyway, my point is this. Terrence, you were raised by a single mother, so are you out here blowing up shit and killing people?
Actually, I wasn't raised by a single mother. Believe me, I had men in my life. Always had men in my life.
Okay, well then you go on to say that. I mean, I see plenty of men who were raised by women. You know what I mean? We all know some and we all know some that were raised
And
by
they didn't
women.
have, and they didn't have
What
any.
is that noise?
I'm asking. I don't know, but is that you,
Can you
Mark?
mute your phone, Marcus?
That's
Mute your
Marcus.
phone.
I got it.
Mark.
Yeah. So
All right.
Okay.
my thing
Yeah,
was
but
like,
what I'm
there's
saying
a
is,
lot of people. No, but can I speak? Because it's been a Terrence show all night. You ain't breathed, you ain't drank
go
nothing, nothing.
ahead.
Your mouth
You
should be
can
dry.
feel
Shit.
yourself.
So my
Feel
point
yourself.
is this. You know what I'm saying? You talking that good shit. You know what I'm saying? Like women can't raise a son by themselves. I'm doing it every day. He don't see you every day or every week or every month for that matter. You know what I'm saying? He don't see none of y'all
Yeah.
every day. He might see y'all
Yeah.
sometimes. He sees Ray the majority of the time, but he doesn't see y'all.
Yeah.
Second of all, you know what I'm saying?
Isn't
There's
that
a
what I
lot of
said?
women. Andre, no, it's not what you said. Don't
Yes, that
backpedal
is.
now. No, it ain't. Hush.
No,
Drink
that's
something.
exactly
Have a
right.
seat.
Answer.
No, have a seat right now. Several of them, because you went there. You and Marcus.
Oh,
A woman
please.
can't raise nobody.
Don,
You know what I'm saying?
stop.
There's plenty of women that raise kids, and there's plenty of kids that have
Yes, they
both
do.
parents right now that we both know is fucked up, and they
Yes,
be out
there
here
is.
doing the dumbest shit ever. So don't
Yes,
tell me
there
what a
is.
woman can't do. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of men don't be there, and I'm one of the women that's raising mine. I got 3 of them I'm raising right now.
Nah, but I think you taking this shit
You're
way too
missing
personal
it. You're
because
missing the whole thing. What I
I'm
was
gonna
saying.
fucking talk for once. Jesus fucking
Shit,
Christ.
you should have been talking when she
And what I'm
talking.
saying,
Shit.
I mean, yeah, but you've been getting a lot of
It's been the
airtime,
Terrence
bro.
show.
So I mean, hold on. I just want to say something. This ain't. I mean, so first of all, Don. I mean, you ain't got to take it all personal like that, because what I will say is this though. Yeah, a lot of women do take care of men and raise men though, but it ain't never without a fucking influence from a man, and that's what he was saying. This
Yeah,
ain't got no
I
fucking.
understand that.
You got your kid all the time. It's your kid. Of course you do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But to sit there and act like nigga that don't know, ain't no male gonna ever have no influence on your young man, your young boy that's gonna be a man, is fucking ridiculous. Nobody's knocking.
Saying that. He's
but
saying,
but it sounds.
what I heard, from what
No,
I heard,
Ray
he was
is
saying like
saying
a woman
exactly
can't
what I
raise
was
a
saying.
kid. A woman
No,
can't
what
know
I
you
said
worded it.
is he has to have male influence, and he has to have it as he's growing
Yeah,
in his
well,
first
anyway,
couple years of life.
But you're right,
Ken
Don.
said he
Women
did it
do
every day.
raise their. There are plenty of women that raise great young men or whatever, and I don't think that anybody's fucking going against that or whatever. So that ain't what that is.
But
That's
then on the
not
other
what that
note,
is.
but on the
I
other
was
note,
saying, 'cause
there's a
Terrence
lot of
said
little boys. There's a lot
that-
of little boys that are
Hold on,
born that's
finish.
messed up, and they're born that way. They have chemical imbalances.
That's what
they
I.
have
That's
mental
what I
health
was
issues,
saying.
and it doesn't matter if they have both parents or not. They're gonna be fucked up little individuals.
That's what I
because
said.
And
That's what I
that's what
said.
Scooty was saying. That was the other part of the
But
argument.
I said
and
that
that's where
on the onset. I said that, and y'all niggas was saying that if a dad was there, I said, and I mentioned Dahmer, and I mentioned motherfucking Ted Bundy, and I said they had their motherfucking daddies, and y'all said no. I said, but even
I
if
said
you,
it's a
and my point was,
possibility that they weren't raising the child a certain
and
way.
y'all said it
It's a
was punk ass
possibility it was
dads.
a thing with
Right,
them.
like I can't finish, but y'all said they had punk ass dads and all that stuff, though, right?
Yep,
So I
they
said
did.
that at the beginning, that that it's about wiring. So, and then now we're talking about. Then we went off into this other thing, to where it's how kids are raised and then them acting a certain way. Like Ivory was saying, a little kid, he fucking swung a cat in a circle. He fucking put lighter fluid or some kind of inflammable in a goddamn water balloon and blew up a couch.
Yeah, he's
Then he
something
shot
wrong
his
with him.
fucking mom to death over an Amazon order. So is that about him being raised, or is that about his mental stability? You know what I'm saying? Or
Okay.
something being
Now, Ray,
miswired.
let me speak for a second, since you guys are talking this. First of all, when Scooty said what he said, I said it happens by both ways, and I said I don't know the percentage of somebody just being fucked up from the start and doing this. Second, I said that a man would be in there. He saw that shit from somebody other than, and he didn't come up with that shit on his own, putting the lighter fluid in there.
Sure.
So he's being raised. Somebody's allowed him to see something at a young age that he really shouldn't be seeing. And then he went and did that. That's what I said from there. And then when I was talking about in general how it is, you have to have these things. Later on in life, men have a hard time when they don't have men in their life. They have a hard time making adjustments, raising men, and doing other stuff. Those are all points that I was making. I was not saying that the kid. I said there's a possibility that was something his mom, she didn't have a male figure that was there early enough in his life that was keeping him from trying to intimidate her. That's the whole thing. The whole reason he shot her was to intimidate her. That was what they first said. So when I came up with what I said all those things, Scooty, I told you were right. And I told Ray was right when you guys were saying it, but it's a possibility that it was because he didn't have male figures that were there early enough in life to keep him from doing that, or a father in the home to keep him from doing that. And you're right, Don. You can have two parents and come out wrong because you know what? Because those parents may not be raising you, they're allowing other people to raise you, and on top of it, your mindset and the things you see in your experiences might push them towards the other thing, push them towards doing crazy things. They might see the dad that's doing crazy
serial killers need daddies too. Is that what
everybody?
How old was the boy?
Jesus Christ.
Ray, how
10.
old was the child?
10, right?
He's
10. By time he's 9, you're going to know exactly who this person is. You're going to know how he deals with things. Whatever traumas he goes through by the time he's at 7, you're going to have those.
So when they diagnose young men like him,
I think what Don is saying. I'm sorry, Ivory. Go ahead, man. My bad.
No, what I was saying is there were that young man displayed 2 of the markers that lead to being a sociopath, right? The next step, one of the issues that comes up is the whole playing with fire and this and that, and then you got the fucking with the animals, and then the next thing is killing the animals. You see what I'm saying? He bypassed killing of the animals. You see what I'm saying? And went straight to, shooting his mom. He knew exactly what he was doing. You see what I'm saying? All that shit is calculating, bro. I mean,
also the fact that he had no remorse after he did it, and he still
exactly.
And so that's where, like, I mean, because Terrence, I do agree with you to an extent, but at some point, like, just that part of the story of the fact that he still bought the shit and he after it and had no remorse for killing his mom.
That's where we know that he had some type of brain damage. But this is what I'm saying before any of that goes on. We're sitting here talking about he was trying to scare his mom. He admitted that to his relatives. He was trying, and she moved in front of the gun, and he was trying to shoot the gun off to scare her because his mentality is he's not going to hurt her, and she's going to back off and give him what he wants.
His whole intention was to knock her off. Period. That's why he did what he did.
But Terrence says he believes if there was a mom and daddy that whoop his ass every day, he'd been perfect.
Okay.
No, I didn't say whoop his ass. I said knowing that he can't get away with trying to intimidate a parent. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of kids out here that can intimidate. Okay, comic. There's a lot of people. A lot of kids that think they can intimidate their parents. Their parents, not parents. Parents. Anyway, when I was growing up, I saw kids, and usually they were white parents that I was seeing that these kids were trying to intimidate. I was like, what the hell? And we didn't understand it. Now, ass whoopings might help, but that's not what I'm thinking that was going to change it. It's going to stop him from understanding that you're going to be held accountable. You think you're going to intimidate me? You're not going to be able to do that because other people are going to hold you accountable as well as me. And that's where I'm saying he would never be able to grab a gun. He wouldn't feel
shut your ass too.
What you say?
Right.
Exactly.
What?
If he's already crazy, he might be done shot your ass too.
So what makes you think that he was crazy and he didn't want? Listen. It's called. Listen. When you're young enough that you start seeing shit that are not. It's not right, and you think that's reality. You think what you see on movies or listen to music and all these guys going that this is how you handle things. This is how you handle things.
Tomorrow you play this shit back and you listen to this shit.
I'm not listening. I don't have to. What I'm saying is there's a lot more. There's a lot more going on in this kid's life to get him to that point.
Taking a breath for like an hour and a half.
Drink some water or something, man.
Okay?
Get your throat dry.
We not talking about.
Fuck all y'all on this part because what I'm trying to say is
hold on, bro. You ain't gonna sit up here and think that you can keep talking over everybody, bro. Everybody gets a chance to talk, man. You've been talking all goddamn night, bro.
Yeah, I'm cool. I'm cool.
Got the worst
do what you got to do.
What's the mediator?
Do what you got to do.
He's the worst.
Shit. What I'm saying, Ray, is
we gotta find a mediator, nigga.
We gonna use, your son, he the youngster on here. We ain't talking about Jamari on the block, hanging with kids that, friends that he shouldn't be hanging with, and him upset at his mom, him feeling himself, getting in his mom's face, yelling at her and shit. Nigga, we ain't talking about that. Okay, we talking about this crazy motherfucker fucking with fire, okay, grabbing the goddamn puppy, twisting the puppy around. You see what I'm saying? That's the shit that we talking about, bro. We ain't talking about, I don't have no daddy.
Where did he see the balloon? Where did he find out about the balloon to fill it with the shit and do that?
What I'm trying to
Where did he
explain
find
to
that?
you, bro, is that these kids that
He
are
just came up with his mind, right?
and shit like that, this is a common trait, bro, that they do. That's what I'm trying to explain to you, bro. If you talk to anybody that is in the field
I
that I
understand
was
that
in, bro,
aspect of it.
that's the shit that they fall in. Just like the kids that are gang banging and doing that. There's a certain path they start following. There's certain things that they start doing, bro. That's what I'm saying. It don't matter if the daddy in the home or not. This fucking kid is doing different shit. He's on a whole nother level, bro. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
He's, of course, on another level. What I keep saying over and over is we don't know how the path got to where it is. We don't know what, when you talk about somebody having a balloon and coming up and filling it with something, he saw that. And what I keep telling you is kids watch shit you do. They learn from how you go about things. So that's how they learn to react to how the rest of this stuff goes. So when I was saying that, I understand about when people have brain damage and different things going on, they're wired a different way. I'm not even debating that. I'm saying that there's certain things that also shows you that there's something that could have been done earlier that wasn't being done. The kid is learning from certain things, and certain people aren't around him, obviously, or he's not getting the right help.
Terrence, he could have been a
and that's
loner
where
like
I stand
myself
with that.
and watch a lot of shit on fucking YouTube or whatever other social sites and learn that shit. Not necessarily from the home. He could have just been one of those fucking deranged kids that just watch. You ever know a kid?
And that's what I was saying on that.
People play their own games. I know kids that watch other kids play games on fucking YouTube. What kind of shit is that?
Well, kids
You
do
don't
that.
talk about
That's this
Jamar.
generation. That's this generation.
I know. I'm just saying. He probably watches shit. I'm just saying. Not necessarily from the home. He could have watched that shit on any social media site, YouTube, whatever you have.
I mean, because it was obvious that he was
that shit.
into.
He's 10 years old. Kids are smart. Yeah. I have to go to my 7-year-old to help me program my iPhone.
Yeah. And there's 4-year-olds that know how to get on the phone, find anything they want. 3-year-olds that do that and watch all types of stuff. And people don't realize they're getting on there doing this. So it's all good.
You're right. You're right.
Oh man,
this
has been awesome. This has been fucking great.
All right, did we get to the third topic?
Bingo time.
Huh? What happened, Mark?
Get to the third topic.
Bingo.
He's talking about bingo.
That nigga had bingo right now.
Oh, he had bingo. Okay, he trying to win some money.
Hey, right.
B12.
You read the comments, man. Somebody put a comment in there.
I know that's Andre.
Oh, got you. Okay. Oh, no, private chat. Got you.
Andre, your wife told you gotta go.
Okay. So
your wife fucking you off the podcast, dog.
Oh shit, that is so funny, nigga. Herdal, do you see that?
Hold on, let me check the comments.
Yeah, it's the private comments, huh?
Oh, sure. Hold on.
Yeah, nigga. Oh, this is so funny, man. Like, this is.
Oh my God! Look at that.
Oh, show by yourself, you freak.
Sorry for you, sir.
No dad at the home.
Hey, man, y'all cold as fuck, bro.
Andre did that.
You be all right.
Hey, we family. We family. We talk all hell.
So serial killers need dads too. So anyway, I don't know where the show went.
Nah.
Each topic was
It went where it was supposed to go.
Listen, it's a known fact. Anybody that, well, Ray's probably a killer too, but anybody that torments and kills animals is a psychopath, is a sociopath.
I agree.
Oh, man.
Whether it's a squirrel,
that's the way I ask you, Dre.
I don't care if they say they're featured doctors.
He's bringing up the raccoon.
Why are you talking, man? I didn't kill you. You still breathing, motherfucker. Oh man, damn! I could get no credit for something. Shit. Fuck you mean? Oh yeah, here's some new. Here's some news for you, Ivory. I seen this come through the feed.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on this Friday night. Tonight, as we come on the air, we are monitoring a major coast-to-coast weather system set to bring snow over the weekend. And in just a moment, our CBS News investigation looking into why a growing number of kids in school, some as young as 5, are being hauled away in handcuffs. But first, Brittany Griner is back in the United States one day after being released from a penal colony in Russia. The WNBA star and 2-time Olympic gold medalist touched down this morning in San Antonio, Texas, where she was reunited with her wife. The nearly 10-month ordeal ended with a 1-for-1 prisoner swap for notorious Russian arms dealer Viktor Bout. Russian President Vladimir Putin saying today the future trades are possible. CBS's Weijia Jiang will start us off tonight from the White House. Good evening, Weijia.
Good evening to you, Nora. U.S. officials who traveled with Brittany Griner said she appeared to be in good health on the flight, describing her as gracious and happy. As for Putin's suggestion that even more Americans could come home, the White House is treating those words with more caution than optimism. After a grueling stint in a Russian prison, doctors are evaluating Brittany Griner at Brooke Army Medical Center in San Antonio. She landed in Texas this morning.
She has been reunited with her wife, Sherelle. U.S. officials who met her on the ground said she was in very good spirits, appears to be in good health.
For the first time, a glimpse into Griner's life behind bars, doing hard labor and sleeping in a bed far too tiny for her 6'9" frame. Griner's lawyer told ESPN that she chopped off her signature dreads because it was so frigid, her hair froze. Marine veteran Paul Whelan, imprisoned in Russia since 2018 on what the U.S. calls sham espionage charges, was not part of the exchange, which freed convicted arms dealer Viktor Bout, known as the Merchant of Death. Today, Vladimir Putin did not rule out more prisoner swaps, saying anything is possible. But Viktor Bout was the highest profile prisoner we had. So what else do we have?
Well, we'll see. Actions, not words. So we heard what Mr. Putin said. Now let's see what he and his officials are willing to do to help us get Paul home.
A U.S. official tells CBS News that over the summer, Moscow proposed trading Whelan for a Russian assassin who is serving a life sentence in Germany, convicted of murder. The U.S. had no power to release the prisoner, and Berlin refused. Whelan's sister Elizabeth says President Biden called her, vowing not to leave him behind.
I don't look for apologies, I look for action. And I am willing to be very plain spoken about that. What I'm looking for is for us not to let 1 second, no grass grow under our feet over the next few weeks as we move forward trying to figure out how to get Paul back.
The loudest critics of the Bout-Griner swap are Republicans who say this trade was just not fair to the U.S. Former National Security Advisor John Bolton tells CBS News that former President Trump had the option of swapping Viktor Bout for Paul Whelan, but he declined. That was before Griner was detained. Nora?
All right, Weijia Jiang, thank you.
All right. Y'all happy she back? Should she be back?
Nah, she need to stay her ass there, bro. Shit.
Mark,
I don't have no outrage. Shit.
No outrage.
They've been doing this shit forever. They've been trading forever. This ain't nothing new. They traded back.
Man, this is like a Blazer trade, bro. This is like a Blazer trade, nigga. I mean, they didn't get shit. They didn't get shit for that trade.
They got the Merchant of Death back, nigga, for that punt. Nigga, what the fuck?
Dude, that's hilarious.
They got their guns back.
You know, we did skip Jordan, so I mean, you know, it's
that was funny as hell.
Trailblazer-ish.
That was funny as hell, Ivory. That was so funny.
Yeah, I did dig it.
We saw the quarterbacks that they didn't want to trade the quarterbacks. We saw that.
Oh, what was it? Baker Mayfield?
Baker Mayfield.
Hey man, the U.S. should be ashamed.
Russell Wilson.
Oh, I seen that from Denver.
I agree with you. I agree with you, man.
Hey man, hey,
I agree with you, man.
These Democrats.
I ain't mad at her. I ain't mad at them either.
I ain't mad at her either. I'm happy that she's home. I mean, it's good.
Hey, I'm not mad at them for trading and doing it because they've been doing this shit forever. This is nothing new here in the United States. Country's been doing this since World War II.
Well,
Shit,
it's
trading
not a
the
good
people
trade
for
because,
whatever.
yeah, but they could have got, they could have got one of the real.
Well, maybe on the next one they get something
how you
different.
go hard? How you go hard on gun control, but you released a motherfucker, arms dealer, bro? Come on, man. Democrats.
There you go. But they're talking out both sides of their mouth. That's the whole thing about the politicians and government. They talk about both sides of their mouth.
Shit, how did you talk about gun control?
Democrats can kiss my ass, bro.
So Ivan, you going Republican now?
I'm going to vote for whoever likes
They
me
gonna
the
put
best,
Trump.
bro.
Hey, he's gonna vote for Trump.
So you gonna vote for Trump like Dre did?
I got three. I got Trump watches my dad got from the presidential thing or whatever, and none of them work. Swear to God.
So check
Just
this out,
like
bro.
his businesses.
So check this out, man. So I went to Oregon State, like a number of us went on here. I wasn't able to get on a scholarship, Mr. Olford, like you did, but I did get an academic scholarship later. But I still owe money, bro. You see what I'm saying? So when this clown sends this money to Ukraine, you dig what I'm saying? Take care. Last time I was raised that you take care of home first before you go take care of shit outside. You dig?
Side bitch. Yeah.
So I take that shit personal, man. Man, he will not get my motherfucking vote. Got me fucked up.
You don't think that he was building a buffer between what they want to get done on that forest?
Yeah, fuck him, bro.
What the world is trying to do.
It was all about the midterms.
Put that money for a buffer.
It's all about the midterms, man.
Bro, I get an email every week talking about, oh yeah, we working on it.
It's unconstitutional. You're not getting it broke. It's not gonna happen for us, bro.
Yeah, it's gonna go to Supreme Court, whatever. Change it up.
Be paid off by the goddamn time.
Man, the Supreme Court is going. I'm telling you, it's over, bro. That was just something to say.
Yeah,
gas prices went down a little bit. We're gonna give you just a little bit, and then we're gonna take away your college loans. That sounds great. Like, damn.
Hey, I saw $4 a gallon over there.
Maybe I'm gonna turn black again if I vote for Biden, because he said if you don't vote for, if you have to think about it, then you ain't black. So I see a lot of people still black.
Oh, I forgot all about that. Yeah,
he said that, and I'll be looking at niggas. I say, I guess y'all still black.
right.
More change.
Nah, he said that shit though. He said so.
I remember.
Shit ever.
I remember.
I
also
they walked that nigga straight to the White House, man. And they look at it in the red, the orange dude. They did all kinds of shit. He beat him every time. And then this guy says all this shit, and they put it out there. They was asking people, like, they was just blindly saying these comments, and who do you think said this? Everybody says Trump. All this fucked up shit. It was fucking Biden. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm like, niggas actually voted for him. You know what I mean? And they'll tell you Trump's a racist, right? That's he's racist, right? That's what they say. So, but then you look at the shit that this guy says. And nobody, like, it's not even a story. Big tech, the stories got killed, just like the Biden laptop shit. Like, that's the only. I mean, however you want to land on that, it's going to be individual. You know what I'm saying? But to take that away from the public, to be able to at least have access to it, to information, like,
what do you feel about that, Andre?
I got a thought.
Go ahead.
I feel like this. She tried to say she accidentally packed whatever she packed. No, you didn't. You just thought you wasn't gonna get caught. You deserve to say where the fuck you was at, bitch. I don't care what you played, who you are.
So you don't think she should have got out?
Fuck no.
Oh.
No.
Hey, Trey, didn't you say she averaged 10? Didn't you say she averaged 10 points, 3 rebounds, and like 1 block? I mean, like, fuck, dude.
I didn't get to pass, go, and collect $200.
I said that.
I didn't get to do that. No.
Yeah,
why she get to walk? I didn't get to walk.
It should have been the Marine, though. Don't y'all think, though? It should have been something for the Marine.
Well, she's not. Who is she? She's not important.
It got caught up for the espionage.
Hey, it's all about the headline. It don't have shit to do with who the person is. Unless the person is going to give them a big headline.
He wants them
Oh my God. The only thing, what it is that it's about the A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's about. And then they wanted to make sure that they could do what they want to do and get this little guns dealer out so they can keep doing the wrong stuff that they do. They're not looking at the bigger story.
I like how you did that, though. Right.
Yeah, that's what that's about. That's what that's about.
No, that's that. You know, I didn't think about that.
They're trying to make it. They're trying to make everything so like they just used an example in the courts just too long ago about, well, same-sex marriage is just as important as interracial marriage. How is that the same?
Yeah.
Thank you. See, it's all word. It's called wordplay.
Ain't nobody looking at it. They're looking at the broad, but they're not looking at the bigger picture right now. So now they're using all this stuff. This is the story that's going on behind the scenes that ain't nobody looking at.
We know that the money is there.
So just saying.
I need that sound.
They put them in the White House, so we know.
It's definitely a better headline. They definitely wouldn't.
Where your sound effects at, bro?
Man, I got this cheap ass version of it. I gotta step my game up.
Bro, step it up.
Yeah, I know. I don't need to get beat up about it. I beat myself up enough about it because I got this piece of shit right over here.
I had to get you going. I don't feel any type of way about either way because it's just everybody is just, it's all bullshit. They're always going to trade somebody for some shit that don't equal out. And it's part of war. It's part of what countries do. It's part of the espionage. It's part of putting people in predicaments to make them see how they're going to bow down. So the people will put them in the White House or put them into place.
It was about snatching the manhood from that man because the A, B, C, D, E, F, G wants to rule. They didn't want him to get out because they wanted to let her out. She was more important than him.
Well, they're the ones who they put a couple of Democrats in office in these years. That's what I'm saying.
Ooh, that's a T-shirt.
But a couple of those are tokens.
Men don't matter. Ooh.
They don't because the A, B, C, D, E, F, G is taking over.
That's black men.
Oh yeah, that's the part 2 to the shirt. So I do the men don't matter, get the white boys on board.
You're welcome.
And we put the black ones out. Right. Yeah, thank you for that, Dom. I got you covered. But yeah, we're gonna get those printed up. To do it in 2 cycles. Men don't matter, we get them all on board. Then black men don't matter. Ooh, that's gonna be real spicy. They got a problem with that one.
Hey, so who's gonna be the next black superhero?
I don't know. I just watched some of Black Adam last night, and actually, shit was kind of dope. I'm finna try to watch it.
Man.
I kinda like it. But so Shazam, and he had to say Shazam to kill his powers, and he said it. I was like,
he gave it up. Yeah.
Spoiler alert. Yeah, because he was a slave, and it was 5,000. That shit was dope to me but I was like, is he Shazam or no? So Shazam is probably gonna be the little kid that's or something.
And then the virtues are different for him than they were for, even though they get their power
dark.
From the same
he's a killer. He's dark.
Hey, did you see the whole movie?
I watched I fell asleep, so I got to go back and finish.
Yeah, you got.
Me too.
I ain't gonna spoil it for you. Yeah, you gotta finish it, bro.
Oh, you're talking about the last scene?
Oh, it's Superman.
Yeah.
You get the white boy to try to talk him down, like, hey man, you need to stay in your place. Yeah, that shit.
I didn't catch it that way, but okay, I'll have to look at it again.
Remember the lady said we're gonna send somebody to come and talk to you.
Somebody that's worthy and strong enough to,
right. Because remember, Shazam didn't give a fuck. Remember, he go grab somebody and he kill your ass. He didn't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, motherfucker, all right, you gave me the answer. All right, I'm gonna drop your ass. See what I'm saying?
Black Adam. Yeah, Black Adam. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, no.
He was like, "Oh, what? That's you? They died. They were villain. They deserved to die." Yeah, but that's a DC like anti-hero that's like what Marvel has been doing for years. That's the reason people like went to them, and comic books. They were looking at that because people were more of Avenger type characters.
Shazam was kind of corny looking though. I just remember that when I was a kid. Shazam, his powers was weak.
Well, he was Captain Marvel before that. He was Captain Marvel, and then they also had a Captain Marvel with Marvel, and they were going back and forth about ownership of the name, and it got that's I think they made some agreement that they had to make sure they always had a character. If not, you're going by Shazam. Marvel always had to have a character.
Hey, y'all. So have y'all been paying attention to that Shaquilla Robinson story at all?
The Mexico,
yeah. They arrested the girl.
They finally did.
The one chick, that did it and shit. And so Interpol, they got her. So she probably finna they finna go through her extradition hearing stuff though.
Jax, what do you think about that?
That shit was grimy.
Yeah, they did her dirty, and they saying that they planned it on her.
Grimy, man.
Yeah.
They planned to go down there with her and do her like that. They beat the brakes off of her, fucked her, broke her, basically decapitated her. This was broken. The spinal cord here, it was detached. They was beating her. She was naked. The video shows her she's naked, and they're just whooping her ass, and she's not trying to fight back or anything. It's awful. Shit's awful.
Wow.
I couldn't even watch it. And then they did that move on her that probably just finished her, and she was just. And they try to say she died of alcohol poisoning, but she didn't die of alcohol poisoning. The bitches killed her. She was 25 years old.
Vicious ass motherfuckers.
Yeah, very vicious. They did her dirty. And then they called her daddy, and to so that they can give back, and he paid for them to give back.
Yep.
To
got out
back.
before the investigators got there.
Yep, and then everything into the funeral, they was all in their face and everything, and then they said that as soon as the autopsy came back from them, because they tried to say it was alcohol poisoning, but then when they did the autopsy report, they come to find out that she had the broken neck or whatever, or the spinal cord or whatever. She had the trauma, and she had been beaten to death.
Wow.
Yep. And so now they arrested the girl who did it. They showed her that bitch was vicious looking. I'm like, ooh.
Hating on money and everything else. Hating on whatever she had.
Yeah, no, I mean it was something like it had. It probably was. You're probably right. It's probably about the money, and about how that because her dad, you know what I mean. They were well-to-do black people. I think she's from North Carolina or something like that. But beautiful young lady, man. It's unfortunate, but they did her dirty though. They did her dirty, bro. Straight like that.
She thought they was her friend. She was super comfortable, so you can see on the video. That's why she was naked. They were supposed to be changing into swimsuits, and
then they hopped on her, or the girl hopped on her for whatever reason. I don't understand what was going on there.
That's that bullshit, but
even
we've seen people get jumped before. That's just that cool.
Not like this, bro.
Oh no, I know. Just
the other friend should have stopped that shit.
The dude with the camera. I mean, he's sitting up there. You ain't gonna telling her you ain't gonna fight back and all this shit. I'm like,
that's another thing. This generation with the fucking cameras.
But they was together. That's like if all of us was in the spot and then we hopped on one person.
He was just mad because
he
was just mad because he wanted to be a bitch anyway. So.
Is that who they were talking about? Is that who did it?
Yeah, it was some sucker shit though. But like, that's just like if you with a group of people and then somebody you watching them, you with that party of people, it's about say 8 people, and then you watch. I mean, one of the people in the crew got a problem with another person in the crew, the smallest one, and they jump on them and beat them up right in front of everybody, and nobody does anything to help them or to stop it. It's horrible what they did to the girl, bro. Like, y'all just didn't like the little bitch, so y'all want to just kill her, just beat her to death.
Right.
I want to say it's a microcosm of a lot of shit that go down.
Sure. Yeah, I can dig it.
Yeah.
I can dig it, man. But it's just sad, man. How like her mom and her dad though, because she had both her parents.
Yeah.
And she went.
All they spent in to raise that child and raise them up, put them out there, and have them do things the right way. And you get around through frenemies.
We're at the 2-hour, 18-minute mark. I'm gonna go ahead and shut the show down. We'll continue backstage, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining the PDX Dope Live podcast. Yay! We'll check you out. I'm your host, Ray Nelson Jr., aka Double R, and we'll catch you on the next one.
We missing the juice, huh?
Yeah, he dropped off.
Right here, I ain't going nowhere. Got something to dance to for players and squares. Drugs and booze we share. The smell of weed, smoke, and sex in the air. Come and play with me if you dare. It's hotter than Hell's Kitchen, women everywhere. We living it up until the clock stop. Rockin' hip hop, we go hard to the last shot. Or my body drop, playing it in the box. I do. Alright, let me get some clear up top.